so high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight.
What is up? What is up? Welcome to another episode of BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, BIRDGANG 31. And today, Nation, we talk about another Eagles win. It was a close one, but it was a great win nonetheless. It is a Victory Monday, and I know you guys are excited about it. So make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe if you have not subscribed. Let's get this thing going today. Today is going to be a Q&A. So, I'm here to take any questions you guys have. We can talk about this game. I want to talk about some players from this game that really stood out to me. And, we have fun with it. I'll even open up the lines up a little later if anybody want to jump on here. We can talk some Eagles football. So how's everybody going? What's up, Eagles champ? Thanks for stopping by. He says Hurts is MVP, and I definitely agree. You heard the chants at the beginning of it. I love doing that, because he is the MVP. He is the best player in football right now. Melvin, what's up, my guy? Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit that like. Let's get into this game, man. The Eagles win, 20-25 against the Chicago Bears. A lot of people thought that this was going to be a blowout, and you heard Jalen Hurts in his press conference talk about how, y'all didn't ask me about the defense last week, and the two times y'all didn't ask me about it, we lost one of those games, and then this was a tough, hard-fought game too. So they did not overlook any team, and I love that mindset from our quarterback. He's a leader. He's that true, leader, man. Like everybody who won't want to follow this guy into war, the way he leads his team, the way he stays calm, the way he, has his composure, keeps his composure under any circumstances. It says Miles Sanders got yelled at supposedly. I didn't even hear about that. If you get some details on that, let me know. But this team, we are built different. We're the best team in football. No one can even touch us right now. And people just really need to understand that we will not lose unless we beat ourselves. And in the beginning of that first half of that football game, we were out there beating ourselves. But Jalen even said it, his hands were numb. He's never played in such cold weather. His vision was off early in that football game. As he warmed up, as he got a little loose, he got a lot better with the throwing the football, and they did a lot. He performed at a high level. He almost had 400 yards total and 3 rushing touchdowns. You know what that put him at? 14 right now for the season. That's amazing. Number one in Eagles history. This guy, he has more touchdowns than any quarterback ever in Philadelphia. 35 touchdowns, the most by any quarterback leading our football team. He says, I slept good last night knowing that the Eagles won and the Cowboys lost. Super Bowl time, let's get it. Yes, it is definitely. The Cowboys did lose that game. That was horrible. We're definitely going to get into some Cowboys talk this week. We got Jay Tuck coming back on. We go Cowboys fan talk's going to be on. So we're going to get some of these Cowboys content creators. I want to hear what they got to say. Plus, later on today, 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be having Birds of Broad Street with our new co-host Simone with the sports. And we got a Cowboys-Eagles roundtable. So we're definitely going to get into that then. But we're going to stick to this game because I want to talk a little bit more about this game and some of the players, that really had great impacts in the game this week. We got some beasts on this football team. I think everybody needs to understand that. Some real beast. Hassan Reddick. Another big game. What that put him up to? What was he at? He's at 12, 13 sacks. We're about to have 4 players have double-digit sacks. 4. That's unheard of. Is that the right one? That's unheard of, guys. There it is right there. Reddick, Hargraves, Sweat, BG, all within 1.5, 4 players on our D line on the same defensive line. How do you get double digit sacks by that many players? That means you are totally dominating the opposing offensive line, man. It's getting crazy out there. Our team is so special, guys. So special. I just wish everybody would understand how special this season is, how special this team particularly is. This is the best all-time Eagles team I've ever seen. I've said it before. We've had Bronson on, we had 500 on. We asked this question: is this the best Eagles team you ever seen? If everybody doesn't say yes by now, come on, what are you waiting for? What else do you have to see? We got 3 games left, and we're already the best. Like, what else is there to see? What is there to know about this football team? Because we're great. We win games that we're supposed to win, regardless on what the outcome is. And that game was a little closer. That run Justin Fields made, wow, that was one of the most electric runs I've seen. I was like, sack, and he's like, no, out to the left side, took it down the sideline, did that little spin move. Imagine if his foot didn't go out. That would have been like the best touchdown run all season long. So every team got talent out there, and that's what everybody got to understand. It's one game at a time, and we're moving over. We're moving on. She said, AJ Devontae Smith are the best duel. Period. Do you agree? I agree. I think we have the best receiver duel in the league. And it goes a little farther. With Dallas Goedert in, Quez Watkinson. These boys are bad. But those two in particular, I don't know, because you gotta go to Waddle and Tyreek Hill too. That is another duel that's just whoa. That's a whoa duel too. Both of those guys are top 5 in receiving yards. All at least top 10 for sure. Both of those guys are doing it big. I think Tyreek Hill got like 1,500 yards. Like, he's on a pace for 2,000 yards. Like, that's crazy. That is some crazy football right there. And then Waddle's over 1,000 yards too as well. So once we got 3 games. Let's get Smitty over at 1K. So it could be the first time we've had 2 1K receivers out there together, and that'll be something special. All the records are lining up, and what I like about it is that we're not just getting these records, but we're getting them with games left. It's one thing. These teams and these records were made in full seasons. The Eagles are knocking these records down one at a time. Before the season's even over. So we still got 3 games to play. He said, BG, you was telling us earlier this year you was spot on about the Eagles. Yes, man, I told you guys. I've been on the boat since last year, man. I thought Jalen was going to have a better season than he did last year. We had to beef up that defense. We needed some linebackers over there. We needed another corner. We had a good safety. We need some players to develop from last year. But if you looked at it, we still went to the playoffs. Jalen Hurts still had a great season. And, it was a learning season for him. And this year, man, with the 2 years in the same system, Jalen Hurts is showing why he is the MVP of the league. And the scariest thing about it is people, try to say it's Patty Mahomes. Patty Mahomes do it a little, he does it a little different over there. And, like, he does it with less. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. He still has the best tight end in the game, period. He still has one of the greatest head coaches of all time, one of the best, offensive coordinators of all time. They lost Tyreek Hill, yes, but they picked up guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, what's that dude said, Lazard. They drafted more in the draft. They picked up some players to, 4 or 5 talented receivers to replace one when you still, the main focus was Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is, the heartbeat of that defense, man. And so I don't agree with the whole, Patty does it more or less. Like, I don't think he does more is have more touchdowns. Have more yards, and he has more turnovers. Those are 2 things I give Patty more than Jalen Hurts. Our team is better, and Jalen Hurts is playing better football. Like, can Jalen Hurts do some of the things Patty could do? No, not even close. Some of those passes Patty come out of his ass, with the backyard passes, man, that's something that you can't teach. That's another level type stuff out there. But Patty can't run like Jalen. Patty doesn't have the highest quarterback, percentage in the league right now like Jalen. So it's just like, Patty doesn't only have 5 interceptions like Jalen. So you can talk all your talk. Patty Holmes is the greatest. He's gotten paid. He's been in this league for a long time and a lot longer than Jalen Hurts, and he's doing this thing too. But right now, this is the now, and Jalen Hurts is that dude. Jalen Hurts is about to win an MVP. He hasn't even peaked. He's not even in his prime yet. This is only second year starting. If you think he can win an MVP in his second year start, what do you think is going to happen for Hero moving forward with this Philadelphia Eagles team? What do you think moving forward with? He's an elevator, so we might lose a couple pieces here and there, but we can replace him with some people that he elevates everybody that plays around him, a lot of the offense and the defense. So we're gonna see. We're not just gonna leave it on the offense side because you got to talk about. We're on the offense side. Before we get off the offense side, we got to talk about boy AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a difference maker. Back in the top 10 in receiving with 1,200 yards. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown got more yards than T.O. did. I think that was the post. Yeah. T.O.'s season, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. AJ's 12 on 1 with 10 touchdowns with 3 games left. You know, come on. I told everybody about AJ too when we got him. You know, the Tennessee Titans run the football way too much. Derrick Henry's getting his 300 carries again a year. AJ was right there in the tops of receivers with a lot less catches. Just like with yards, Jalen Hurts throws 100 times less than the top quarterbacks out there, or Patty Mahomes, but his yards are comparable. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got to look at certain things. When everything's clicking, and when you got a balanced attack like we have, that is one thing I will say I did not like about yesterday's game was the fact that we didn't run the ball enough. Like I feel like we should have ran the football a lot more. You kind of get down a little bit. You kind of worry. I think they're looking for the big play a little too much. They need to. There's some wide open things early that if Jalen would have just played his game and played it to the best of his abilities early, he would have seen some of these early passes. We had a lot of slants, drag routes that were open early that he could have hit, but he went for the big play. And I'm not gonna be mad at him. It is what it is. No one has perfect games. We're not a there's no perfect football team out there. Even the Dolphins weren't perfect, even though they had a perfect record. So, there's Pro Bowlers out there that makes mistakes. He made some early, but he made up for them later. When you got like you said, two of the best receivers in the league with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, it is hard, man. It is hard, not to land. It is hard not to get open. How are you gonna always cover these guys? I don't know. Smitty, had that over the shoulder catch that was amazing. AJ with his tiptoes stayed from out of bounds. Stayed in bounds, had like a 90-yard run. I mean, not 90, but 50-yard run or something like that. That was awesome too. Like these guys are out there doing it and doing it well, man, doing it well. He said Hassan Reddick is better than Michael Parsons, and he needs to add to Defense Player of the Year. Yeah, Hassan Reddick is on pace for 15 sacks, 16 sacks, and he's also leading the league in forced fumbles. So yes, I will say that Reddick should be in the consideration of Defensive Player of the Year. He's doing it at a high level, and I do agree. But back to these guys, man. These guys, they're built different, man. Like they complement each other so well. The big physical receiver, the quick, slim, smaller stature receiver, possession receiver. Then you got Quez the burner, man. Like these guys are going to be doing it together for a while, and we're going to have one of the best receiving groups. Like if they still have time, depending on how much our starters play these last 3 games. They still have time to put some more numbers up there, and you might argue it by the end of the season. I said in the beginning, I'll say Tyreek Hill and Waddle, but at the end, who knows that AJ and Smitty can go over there and take it over. So they're doing their thing right now. What's up, Jalen freaking Hurts? Yes, sir. Thanks for stopping by. So how do you guys feel about this? Give me your takes from the game. What questions do you guys have as we keep talking about this game here? This show's for you guys. I just wanted to get in here and be happy with the Eagles Nation, as we go through another victory Monday. It's crazy. We've had a lot of victory Mondays. We've only not had one victory Monday, and that's crazy. And that's crazy to know when your football team is clicking on all cylinders, winning football games, man. One more. Eagles can clinch the #1 seed by winning any of the last 3 remaining games. But you tell me, because I want it to happen this week in Dallas. That's what I want to see. I want to see a clinch. I want to see a sweep. And I want to see Michael Parsons on that sideline crying, wishing he never opened his mouth about this Philadelphia Eagles team or Jalen Hurts. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see a sweep the Cowboys. Sweep the Cowboys. And clinch the #1 seed in the playoffs. I want to see it happen. So that Saints game and that Giant game would really mean nothing then. And that's when we can see our starters play this first half and then get out of there and get ready for these playoffs. It's gonna be nice, nice. Fly Eagles fly. I love you. Show me. I love you. Show me. That's what's up. Thanks for stopping by. People think Devontae won't get paid. Where they getting this? I don't know where they getting it. He's gonna get paid when it's time. When it's his time to get paid. He's You don't want to mess up those two together. You want to leave them just like no one wants to see. Landon Dickerson move to center. They want to see him stay with mine. A lot of you want to see, AJ and Smitty. As long as Jalen Hurts is our quarterback, we need to have those two at receiver. And even with Dallas Goedert, those are three key pieces. And I would go as far as say, Miles Sanders too. Got to keep all those guys together. As long as you keep those guys together, this offensive line is always going to be good. It's going to always be good. We've always been good, and I don't see how he's changing that. With 2 first-round picks, I say we move back from that top 10 pick maybe to the teens, to get an extra pick, and we, drop the lineman at one of those 2 picks. I can see it happening. How he's going to always build offensive line first. So, and then another guy I want to talk about, man, is Josh Sweat, man. Sweat's doing this thing this year. Sweat is doing this thing. He is showing everybody that he earned that check he got last year, and everybody's worried about it because he didn't have that great of a season. He went to the Pro Bowl last year, but it wasn't that great. This year you seeing him make play after play, especially the last couple of games here. He was getting his sacks. Reddick, Hargraves. Who do you guys think is the best defensive lineman on this team? I know, I think Reddick is still a linebacker because you see him drop back in pass coverage. That is his position. So just pure defensive linemen out of these other guys, BG, Sweat, Hargrave, Cox. Who do you guys like the most, and who do you think is putting in that work and deserves, to be in the Pro Bowl? Because this year I feel like our whole team should be in the Pro Bowl. Like who starts that shouldn't be in the Pro Bowl? That's where I'm at with it. Who starts that shouldn't be in the Pro Bowl? You go offense. Jalen Hurts should be all Pro Bowler. Miles Sanders, if he continues this pace, they give him the ball the last 3 games. I think he can earn himself a Pro Bowl. You gotta put Smitty, and once he gets over 1K, and AJ, you gotta put those guys in the Pro Bowl. Goddard might have he got hurt. He might not make the Pro Bowl. The whole offensive line should be in the Pro Bowl. Defense, you got Hargrave should be in the Pro Bowl. Hassan Reddick should be in the Pro Bowl. Sweat should be back in the Pro Bowl. If BG gets over double digits this year, he should be in the Pro Bowl. Depends how many more sacks Fletcher can get. How many more sacks Fletcher get, he should be in the Pro Bowl. There's a lot of people, man. A lot of people. Slay should be in the Pro Bowl. Bradbury, Pro Bowl. Another linebacker. If TJ Edwards keep playing the play he's playing, he should be in the Pro Bowl. Chauncey Gardner should be in the Pro Bowl. Even though he had to play, Chauncey Gardner, he still leads the league in interceptions. So that's a lot of Pro Bowlers on this team, man. This team is built different. We are out there, playing some winning football, playing some confident football. As hyped as we get as fans, I know them boys are laser focused over there, and they're ready for the challenge. I told you guys, when you get players from winning organizations in college and stuff like that, like they take that pedigree, they were taught the right way. They understand that you can't get too high, too low throughout a season. And when they're laser locked in, ready to be, locked in on a championship, man, it's hard to stop that. You see it happen in college football every single year with Alabama and Georgia and them cats. Like when they locked in, they playing their best football. They're very hard to stop, and that's what kind of season I see. You see even some of the backups play this year, the last couple of games, not this game, but the last couple of games, which shows how good we are, which shows that we're good enough to actually, sit our starters in fourth quarters and portions of the game. It's amazing to see it. Like I said, this team is the best Eagles team I've ever seen. And they're out there showing people why they're the best, and I don't, I'm telling everybody, go get your Arizona tickets, the Super Bowl tickets. If they're out for sale, I'll just go ahead and invest in them now. Go get it, because if you want to go watch the Eagles make history, have the best season ever, capped off with an MVP and a Super Bowl, go get those tickets now. I'm telling you. Best free agent pickup was Hassan Reddick. Facts. Facts. Hassan Reddick's a beast. First player ever, double-digit sacks with 3 different teams. three different teams, and he's done it at a high level like that. And like I said, what 13, 14 sacks right now for the season. He's doing his thing, man. He's crazy. It's crazy to see him take over when he hit people, man. It's he hitting them, and it just takes to put a elite player on an elite team, with other elite players, and that's when you really see, like they say, that you cannot key in on none of those pass rushers. That's why they're all, over 5 sacks. That's why, four of them look like they're on pace to make it over, double-digit sacks for the year. Like you can't lock in on one. As soon as the first one get, you push pressure to Reddick. Reddick gets the first sack. Boom. You put pressure there, extra pressure over there. Now you got Hargrave getting sacks. Boom, it's in the middle. Then you go back outside with Sweat. Then you go back inside, with Cox or one of these guys. Come on now. No one's that good, man. No coach that good to keep trying to help people like that. Like not every offensive line is built to hold 5 players coming at them at Pro Bowl levels, and that's not normal. He said, "Imagine Hassan Reddick with real, what Anderson Jr. from Alabama. Yeah, that dude's badass. Yes, I would love to see that. That would be awesome to go ahead and draft him with a high pick next year. But I think he might be gone by the time we actually draft. But hey, I want that running back from Texas. I think you pair him up with Miles Sanders. Now you're doing some big things." He said, "Yeah, Greg Diver, huge contract for him coming. Yeah, huge contract for him coming. Like, but you got to realize over the next couple of years, Howie, what up, Drew? How you doing? Howie's a really smart GM. He's the best GM in football. He's gonna get these guys, these key players, re-signed. Every year, like I tell you guys, every year that sponsorship deal, that TV money, all that stuff's gonna come into play. With these salary caps, it's gonna keep going up. It's gonna keep going up. So it looks scary now. It looks kind of bleak now. And if Jalen Hurts can take like $38 million contract, or even like a $40 million contract, not be the number one highest paid player, but leave some room for these guys to keep building to this football team. And with the draft picks we're going to have next year, early in the draft, I think we'll be fine moving on for some of these players. But yeah, man, this I'm really excited, man. It's like I'm trying not to go into the Dallas game yet. I'm trying to enjoy this win, because it feels so good, to win. Like I said, 1 week of not having Victory Monday, that's crazy. Just one. And we're sitting here, week 14. The best team in football. The best team in football. He says, "I haven't seen who the playoffs refs are. Hopefully they won't be the ones from the Miami Buffalo. They rigged that game." Yeah, man. That's one thing people don't talk about. Them refs, man. Even that Washington game. Washington scored a touchdown at the end of that game. Like that receiver checked with the ref, was like, "Hey, we good? We good? All right." And he turned, and as soon as they had the ball, flag. As soon as they had the ball, flag. So I say Washington got snuffed. That pass interference got snuffed. Got snuffed. They got snuffed there. They should have won that football game, or at least tied it. I don't remember what the score was, but they made that touchdown. How do you think Kayvon Wallace played? He did okay. He's been okay. Kayvon came into the league talking big mess. He's signed. He's gonna be the best safety. He's gonna be Brian Dawkins' clone, that type of player. And he ain't been that player. And I'm not on the Kayvon Wallace train that much. I am happy that he's going in there playing some decent football. He's not being like, whoa, he wasn't even a Blankenship, who wasn't even drafted very high, or wasn't even drafted, undrafted free agent, or he definitely wasn't at Epps or anything like that. So, Kayvon's done all right in the time he's played, and I'm happy that he's not costing us games, and he's not costing us very many big plays while he's in the football. But we definitely need Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back. And I would say we go ahead and draft another safety in this upcoming draft, just in case Chauncey wants too much money. So he said, "We got this. Go Birds." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna see what this team. What do you guys think the team should do moving forward? Like, do you think we need to play these last 3 games? Do you want to just keep it going, play the starters all throughout? Because I believe in that too. I think you need to just keep consistency. Winning cures everything. These guys, it's cold. They're playing some good football out there. They're taking. Jalen took a couple more hits than I like recently. But you gotta let these guys stay in sync, stay locked in. They're already going to get a first round bye. It's like you don't want these guys rusty going into the playoffs. Is that Kayvon better being a third down linebacker, quarterback, spy, and blitzer? Yeah, Kayvon Wallace is a beast when he's playing like in that hybrid linebacker type, safety type role. I do like that with Kayvon. When you got him straight, cover safety or something like that in the back end. No, I don't like that. He said we need Chauncey. Yes, we do. We need him back, man. As like I miss the exciting plays. Like he was putting on a show those first couple of games until he got hurt. He was putting on a real show out there, and I want to see him get back here. And the thing is, he's going to come back the perfect time. The Eagles held out Goddard, so Goddard can get a little bit better. And he's coming back here shortly too. Chauncey Gardner. So we're gonna have these guys ready for the playoffs. Like this Dallas game, I want to see Dallas play that game. But after that, if he's still not 100%. Let these guys rest, get ready for the playoffs. We got a good enough team. We got the depth, and that's what makes our team different than anybody else. We got the depth we need, to withstand some of these injuries, and we've shown you that by continuously winning. The Bears, yeah, you can say they lost 6 in a row, whatnot, but they're still a good football team out there. They got a dangerous quarterback who knows how to make plays, and as you see, like I heard one of the Bears content creators was talking about not content creators, reporters talking about how their secondary never played that good in this whole season. Like they played their best game against the best team, and that's what we're going to get from every team, no matter what their record is. They're going to play us the hardest. When we play the Saints, they're going to play us like it's a Super Bowl. When we play Dallas, they're about to play us like it's a Super Bowl. We play the Giants again, they're going to play us like it's a Super Bowl. With their playoff lives hanging in balance. So we got to be ready. It's not going to be no cakewalk, and I don't want to see this team get blown out by nobody. At the end of the season, just from resting people. I hated seeing Dallas, even though they played against our second and third streamers, go out there and, blow up the score like that, trying to embarrass us like that and make us feel like something. It made me feel some type of way. So I don't want to see that, moving forward. So what about Porter Jr.? Yeah. Any of them, man. Like I said, we only definitely dive into that draft. I'm started looking, I'm started watching. I've started looking at some draft prospects that I think the Eagles should be after. I'm kind of like putting a video together, see about dropping that one to, who I think the Eagles should draft in the first round. But we got plenty of time for that. We signed Barkley instead of B.J. Ross. We signed Barkley. I would love to see Barkley come over here too. I like Saquon. I think them two together would be a dominating backfield. But John Robinson, man, that guy's a beast. He'd be young, rookie contract for 4 years. You can still pay Miles now. They have the best backfield together for years, for the years to come. Because that's what makes our team so dangerous on offense. We can run it or we can pass it. Jalen, that was a perfect game for Jalen Hurts. Have over 300 yards passing and 3 rushing touchdowns. Almost 400 total yards. That's awesome. He had a 2 interceptions, whatever. He wasn't going to go perfect the whole season. I can live with 5 interceptions on the season. I can live with that. He says after we beat Dallas, we need to win out with Minshew in the backup. I think we can. We're good enough too, because you don't have to sit all the starters. You sit like Jalen, AJ, Smitty, Dallas, Lane, Kelsey. Landon and Malala. Those are some young guys. Say Malala still can play. Those are some young guys. They can play. What I'm saying? It's only the veterans. Cox, maybe Slay, Bradbury. BG, all those guys sit. Everybody else can play. They're still young enough to go out there and play some football. So, add in some backups there. And I still, like you said, I still think we can win. We can win out with the backups. Our team's that good. Gardner Minshew want to play. He, times he got in, he hasn't looked bad. He's just operating the offense. So, I would love to see it, but I want to play and I want to destroy. I want to run up the score on these Cowboys, man, for real. I want to run the score up. I want Parsons to wish he never opened his damn mouth. That's how bad I want to beat these boys. Like I want to beat them so bad. Not only did we sweep you for the season, but you're going to feel it. You're saying you're going to feel it. And you're going to know that you aren't even on our levels. There's levels to this football thing. There's levels to these football teams, and Dallas ain't on our level. I don't think there's no one in our league on our level. I think we can beat any team in the NFL. Any of them. Buffalo, KC, anybody. Dallas. Whoever. Whoever we have to play, we can beat them. As you see, when the Eagles aren't shooting themselves in the foot, they're out there balling. It's either balling or shooting yourself in the foot. They out there balling. Shout out to my guy Drew Johnson with the $2 super chat. He said, "There is only the next game. Clowns are up. Facts. Those clowns are up. Dak looks like trash. What they say, like 9 or 11 interceptions over the last 11 interceptions or 9 interceptions in the last 11 games, one or two. But he's not playing good football. And that interception in overtime, oh man, it's not the way you want to do it. You can't talk that smack. Thank you, like you on our level, and then do things like that at the end of football games. And like, you know, you guys lost to the Jags. To the Jags. Come on now. Remember back then when we beat the Jags? You're like, oh, it's just the Jaguars. Y'all just lost them. We beating teams. We beating teams that's beating you. Y'all can't. They're not even on our level, man. They're not even on our level. That showed this week. They weren't even focused on Jaguars. Shout out to Dougie P, for getting that victory, man. Shout out to you, man. I love anytime Eagles players or coaches, legendary Eagle players or coaches are doing good on other teams, as long as it's not against the Eagles. So wouldn't that be crazy too? Dougie P wins enough football games to get his Jags into the playoffs, and all of a sudden the Jags, the surprise playoff team, and push all the way up to the Super Bowl to go against the Eagles. That'd be crazy. Like my 3 Super Bowl games I want to see the most would be Jags, Eagles. Well, number 1 would be Kansas City versus Eagles. I would love, Dougie P's been, Andy Reid's been beating us a lot with KC, and I would love to be in a Super Bowl with the team that we got this year and go, give Andy that big red, that big L. You know what I'm saying? Go give Andy that big L. That's what I would love to see, So that's my number 1. Number 2 would have to be, I would love to see a Miami Dolphins Eagles Super Bowl. I don't know if Tua's going to make it and he's going to do it, but that would be something nice to see too. The best 2 receiving duels in the league go head to head. You got the, 2 MVP candidates. Tua is still in the, he's low on the list, but he's still in that MVP candidacy. You got Tua versus Jalen in a Super Bowl. Tua versus Jalen in a Super Bowl. That would be epic, I think. If you go back to college years at Alabama, did a fast forward all the way up to, 2022. And you got both of those guys playing it for the chip. Obviously, we know Hurts will win, but it'll be nice to see because the Dolphins ain't built like us either. And then the Jaguars, to see Dougie P, bring his team from down under and bring them back to the playoffs and then make it to the Super Bowl against Dougie P, the only coach to win a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be awesome to see. Dougie P on that sideline. We played them this year. We won. It was, it started out a really good game. So it's like that would be another one. He said, I want to see Miami. They would burn our corners alive. What? You think so? I don't think so. I think we got the corners for it. By then, Chauncey Gardner will be back. Yep, still playing some good football. I'm not worried about no receiving core out there playing our defense. And Tua have to throw the football. The way our defensive line is built, Tua have another concussion. I hate to say it, but we're hitting people out there, man. We're hitting some people. Like this defense is starting to look like a defense that we love to see in Philadelphia. Electric, smash mouth, laying wood out there, Pauls. All these offensive players, man. There've been some big hits by this defense, and quarterbacks have been getting harassed. Like, we know what kind of playmaker Fields is, and he still did a little something. I think he had 77 yards rushing. But, man, we still had 6 sacks. We still had 6 sacks. We're still getting after that quarterback. Drew says we need to stay balanced. Need to see Miles continue to the ball. Yeah, we do. And we need to still run the football early. Like, I think every game should start with running the football. Every game just started that way. Miles Sanders is one of those guys. You get him started early, man. He can have a 300-yard game, I think. If you're really committed to running that football. It's cold out there. No one really wants to tackle nobody really for real. Give him the ball and let him run all over the defense. I want to see a Miles. I know he did have a big game, a career game once. I want to see that big Miles Sanders game where he's going over 200 yards, putting up those monster numbers, to make sure he solidifies his Pro Bowl nod. He says Tyreek Hill versus Gannon. Nah, sorry. It's not versus Gannon though. And you know Gannon's gonna play off him. Ain't nobody lining up one on one with Reek. So I think it fits into our coverage, and it will work out perfect for Waddle too. Waddle's a burner. I think you have to play off against those two receivers unless you want to get torched deep. Both of them could take you to the house. The thing is, they're talented enough to take you to the house on those short routes too. So you don't have to play. It will have to be a good football game and a great day, but that defensive line putting that pressure on Tua. Because you see, when you put the pressure on Tua, he can't get it to Tyreek. He can't get it to Waddle. And, that's when you win football games. And that's really the reason why we win a lot of football games, because we take away the star players. We take away the star players. Every game we've won, we took away their best player. And that's how you win football games. You take away the best player, you make, the other guys beat you. You can take a loss with the other guys beating you. But the star players can't beat you. No, star players can't beat you. He says, I think he would have respect for Tua, though. He didn't respect Fields. I think we respected Fields. I think, we did what we had to do. We kept hitting him. That's all the thing you can do with a guy like Fields, man. And like they said, some of those things are just God-given gifts. His speed is 4.4 speed. He's a fast guy. So, if you miss him, those big plays came off miss, swings and miss. What I'm saying? You miss him, he's going to take you. He's fast out there. He looks like it. Lamar and Big, all those fast, quarterbacks we've seen over the years. And I think if they get some more talent around Justin Fields, keep this offense together, keep working on his strengths, man, he's going to be dominating moving forward. I feel like he's like Jalen Hurts last year. He still needs to put it together. He still needs some more time, some more reps. He still needs to go this offseason and go put in the work like Jalen Hurts did. And then next year, they get him another weapon or two on that outside. Watch out for Fields, man. Watch out for Fields for sure. What up, Birdman 951? Thanks for stopping by. Hit that like. We're just having a midday chat, before Birds of Broad Street tonight. Hope you guys tune into that 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a Cowboys Eagles roundtable. Got some of the best on there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be epic. Make sure you guys tap in there. He said, but we'll see. I'm happy with the win. All that matters. Yes, that's all that matters, as long as you get that W. Birdman says, I want to go to Dallas game. I want to go too. I was thinking about that. I want to go too. I might have to make some kind of last second maneuvers, get some Christmas blessings to be able to go head out to that Dallas game, because it's going to be epic, man. Like, to sweep them at home and clinch the division. We win games that matter. And that's the next game up, and that's the next game that matters to do something special. I want to see Smitty get over 1K in that game. I want AJ to get 100. I want Dallas to get 100. And I want 10 sacks. 4 by Heretic, just to shut Micah Parsons up. And we can start saying, is he really the girl? Is he really Lawrence Taylor? The next coming of Lawrence Taylor? Is he really that good? Reddick's right there in sacks, and he has more forced fumbles. Is he really that good? Like, we like to crown these star players when other players are doing big things too, and give them these high expectations. Really? Lawrence Taylor? Come on. He ain't been in the league long enough to be Lawrence Taylor. Dallas game, me too. Yeah, you going? You want to go? That'd be nice, man. That'd be real nice to go to that game. I love that. He said, nah, I'd rather watch it at home. It is good, especially with the 75 8K TV. It is good watching these games at home. But, yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead. We're 40 minutes in here. Shout out to all you guys for being up in here. We're just talking and giving you some reaction from the football game. Some things I liked, some things I didn't like. Like I said, the only thing I really didn't like was from not running the ball enough. And, sometimes you just got to take what you get instead of going for the big play all the time. But like you said, a win is a win. We are the only team 13-1. Cowboys just dropped another game back behind us. And we still got, we're on pace to break every record, it seems like, the Eagles ever had. Especially if we end up playing our starters throughout the last 3 games. Like, you're looking at Jalen Hurts, 4K, 1,000 yards rushing. You're looking at, the duel of Smitty and AJ over 1K. We ain't even had a 1K receiver till this year. You're looking at since Macklin. You're looking at four defensive linemen getting sacks. You're looking at the best cornerback duel if they can get in a couple more picks. To add to that some more pass deflections. You're looking at the best. Look at the best line in the league. The best. You look at a very special team that has to go down, especially if we win. When we win the Super Bowl, it's gonna go down the best team ever. That's what I'm on. The best team ever, not just the best Eagles team ever, the best team ever. He said, Jalen Hurts man ranking better be 1,000 facts. So I've never been to their stadium. I would love to go and be in that atmosphere. It would be dope. It would be, it's $1 billion stadium. Now Jerry Jones don't spend that money. He makes it and he spends it very well. That's an awesome stadium. From what I've seen, like I said, I've never been in it as well, but it would be nice just to go. Even though I hate the Cowboys, it would be nice just to be inside that atmosphere in that stadium too. I agree with you with that one for sure. So I'm gonna drop the link. For the next 20 minutes, anybody want to jump on here, talk some Eagles football. Go ahead and jump on here before we get out of here for today, and I will definitely be catching you guys tonight. Just drop that link on all platforms. Boom. So if you want to get on here for a little bit, talk some Eagles football, let's go. Talk about why we the best team in the league. Talk about look at Jalen Hurts, 35 touchdowns, better than Randall, Donnie, Carson, better than everybody. It's him. It's him. The best. The best. What up, Chief?
When you dropped the link, I had to hurry up and click on that link.
I know you're getting up in here.
Hey,
you get fired up in
how,
that chat.
how you feeling about this W, man? I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that we didn't use Miles Sanders in this game. I felt like our offensive coordinator was trying to play pass happy. Maybe he wanted Jalen Hurts to win the MVP so bad that he forgot the biggest point of the game would be the running the football.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I mean, listen, you get a tough win. At first
What up,
this
AK?
morning, I was like, morning, I'm literally sitting there saying, is this really a W? But when I look at it, people are acting like that we really lost. Again, I mean, Jalen Hurts can't have a bad game without people talking about, he's not MVP. Listen, Mahomes threw, 3 picks last week? Josh Allen threw some picks again. I mean, it happens. It's not every game's going to be perfect, but the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles came out in that freezing cold temperature, it's cold out there. It was cold in Chicago. It's cold. It's colder than it is here in Pennsylvania. So the Philadelphia Eagles were in that cold area. I mean, the players were talking about how it was freezing, and they get the W. And like Jalen Hurts said, I mean, I'm surprised that Envious wasn't how good it's a good defense. They might not play, but they got some young pieces. Number one, I wanted that safety that they have. They stole that safety from us, BG31. That was Brisker. I wanted him.
Brisker from Penn State, yeah. I like that guy.
The dude's a beast. The way he was able to catch to A.J. Brown, come on. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of missed calls too. I mean, they were holding on A.J. Brown like crazy, bro.
Yeah.
They really were. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about. We got the W, man. And you know what? When I look at this team, this team is just. How can you not say they're not the best team in football? We look at the Miami Dolphins, we look at the Bills, we look at the Chiefs, but we don't look at the Philadelphia Eagles, and we can't sit there and say they shouldn't be compared with those other teams because they have dominated football teams that a lot of teams struggle against. Cowboy fans were talking about how the Jaguars, when we were down with them, you guys are frauds. Well, you lost to them. So, again, who's the real frauds? Now it's, Dak Prescott didn't have a bad game. Dak threw 2 picks. The things that these Cowboy fans say is this is the reason why I want to beat them so bad. Because I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them talking. I'm tired of them. They're happy they won the playoffs when they didn't do nothing to deserve the playoffs. They had to let a Giants team help them because they're not built like us. Nope. And that's what I'm saying. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in football, and we're only going to get better. You know what I'm saying? We're only going to get better. The Cowboys, why they're going to lose a lot of players, we're going to only gain more players. Because their quarterback that they just paid isn't really worth all that money. He really isn't. He's not playing like a top 10 quarterback. He's not. I don't think he's better than Jalen Hurts. I really don't think he is at all. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be one of the best quarterbacks.
I think Jalen's better than Patty.
Patty Mahomes?
By me %. Yeah. Because
I
Patty's been
agree.
doing it for a while. He's been good for a while. But like early in Patty's career, like when they were on that rookie contract, their team was a lot better. He won a Super Bowl with one of the greatest coaches. Everybody say Patty doesn't have weapons because they got rid of Tyreek Hill, but then they added Juju Smith-Schuster, Lazard, a receiver in the draft. Like they added, and they still have the best tight end in football, who's been putting in work all year long, in Travis Kelce. You know what
You
I'm
know what?
saying? Like he still got weapons over there. They just don't have the fastest guy in football, but he still got plenty of weapons over there. And he, like you say, he throws picks left and right. Jalen's bad game now is a 300-yard game, almost 400 yards total offense, and 3 rushing touchdowns. That's a bad game. 3 touchdowns, 400 yards. That's not bad to me.
No, it's not. I mean,
Like AK said, he couldn't even feel his hands in the beginning of the game. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even feel his hands.
He was wearing a ski
He's like,
mask.
I can't even see out here. That's how cold it is. I can't see. I couldn't feel my hands. I was wondering why they had me out there on the field, but when we get paid to play football, so I had to go out there. When the man is telling you straight up, like, he never
This
played in
dude
that
is not
cold
used to
weather.
the cold. And that's why I'm saying he's going to get used to this cold. I mean, this is his first time that he's ever. I'm glad he's playing against Chicago this week because let me tell you, he just prepared for the cold now, so he knows what it's like now. I'm telling you right now, this guy's going to be good in cold weather now.
Well, he said that's what he could do. Go, next cold game, I'm gonna have to go out there and like freeze myself up, get roughed up a little bit, get ready for it. Because now I know what it is.
Listen, Chicago is colder than Philadelphia. Even in January football, it is not compared to the weather in Chicago. That's rough over there. You got Buffalo over there. You got Philly. These are cold places. And AJ Brown, I mean, you already knew he was used to it. He was in Tennessee. He played against those cold weather teams, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But Devontae Smith's not used to that. Hassan Reddick, he played in Carolina and Arizona. You know what I'm saying? But he played against teams that were in the cold. Jalen Hurts never played in the cold. So people are acting like this guy. And not only that, it's hard to throw a football when it's a rock. That's why I'm saying we should have ran the football. Then you set up the pass. And I thought Miles Sanders in this game was going to get so many touches. I mean, there was an article, and I sent it to you, BG31, on my message of them supposedly yelling at Miles Sanders. What did you yelling at the offensive coordinator? Because you only give your running back 5 touches when he's your 1,000-yard running back. Make that make sense for me. You're going to yell at someone, yell at your offensive coordinator, because then you say in the halftime when they ask Nick Sanders, what did you want to work on? Well, we need to run the football. So you're going to use Gainwell over Miles Sanders? It don't make sense to me. Because I think we were trying to be too pass happy, or we were just trying to get. I think what we
I feel
were
like they
trying
try
to
to
do.
squeak those in whenever they can. They know the fans get mad about it. In fact, AK, does get a lot colder in Chicago and Minnesota. Those places, a lot colder than Philadelphia. And Philadelphia's cold too, but they're way.
But Minnesota plays really in the dome too. They're not playing.
I mean, like they play in the dome, so it doesn't affect their football team. But I've been in Minnesota during the wintertime, and it's freezing out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of cold for sure. And AK, the link's in here. If you want to hop on, you can too. Before we get out of here. Let's go Eagles. Michael Johnson, the building. What up, my guy? Is all the way to the Super Bowl.
I'm telling you right now, we get home field advantage. We're not only going to Super Bowl, we're going to win it. I don't see anybody beating us. I think if we play Cincinnati, we're destroying them. If we play even Patrick Mahomes, I think we can beat him. I think I'm more scared of Mahomes than I am with the Bills and Cincinnati and Miami, because I don't think they know what it's like to win a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes has experience. We know Andy Reid has been the Super Bowl champion. Those guys I fear, but I'm not fearing the Bills. Like I said, I think Josh Allen's a reckless quarterback. I said it all along. I would take Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a better quarterback overall than Josh. Josh Allen's going to cost his team games. You know what I'm saying? He's reckless.
He's just a more complete quarterback to me is what everybody's missing. It's like it's complete. No one expected it to happen so soon, except for some of us.
And that's why they're so mad at it right now.
That's why they're shocked by it. They're like, "Whoa, this guy, he's still this dangerous with his legs." Like everybody's
when you heard Chris Sims, even with my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off because I know it's your show, but even when Chris Sims, when he made that, he wanted to admit Jalen Hurts was a good quarterback, but when Micah Parsons opened his mouth, which again, why the Cowboys lost, they need to learn to mind their damn business. Worry about the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's what happens when you don't focus. And I thought the Philadelphia Eagles in the first half was kind of worried about the Cowboys a little bit. They weren't really worried about the Bears. It looked like they were trying to get the win, get out of here, worry about the Cowboys. I think they're preparing for the Cowboys more. You know what I'm saying? And I think this game, this next week on Saturday night, I think we're going to run the ball on them. I think we're just going to be like nothing happened this week. Yesterday. Where we're going to see a dominant football team again. you know what I'm saying, all the run where we didn't run the football, that's about to change. Because I had Miles Sanders going off again. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that they were trying to get Jalen Hurts the MVP stats. I know Lil Bronson said in his last stream. I agree. I mean, that's the only thing I can see. I mean, you don't run with Miles Sanders, 1,000-yard running back. To me, it's like you wanted to get him the stats to prove that he was the MVP caliber. Oh, yeah, this guy can throw. You know, he's not a system quarterback like everybody says, which is the most dumbest thing I ever heard.
Maybe
Because
it's just to warm them up. Because if you say you can't feel your hands and you're cold, like if you're just handing out the ball, you're not getting any warmer.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean,
Possible.
Jalen Hurts played in that cold. I would be freezing my ass off. I'd be like, no, I can't do it. Send me on the bench right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Everything
it is
hurts. You
hard.
get hit when the ball hits your hand, it hurts. You know, I played in some cold football games. It's not.
Listen. The way he was able to throw. I mean, there is no question. Jalen Hurts. People saying he can't throw is bull crap because this guy threw in the wind, cold temperatures.
Yeah.
I mean, we got quarterbacks. They're getting, no disrespect to your show, but hand jobs when they really didn't do nothing. Like Brock Purdy's getting the hand. Everybody's
Purdy's
doing
not
his.
there.
You know what I'm saying? Like they want to talk about all these other quarterbacks, but let Jalen Hurts have a bad game. One bad game. It's now I hear on NFL Network, Peter Schrager is sitting there saying that Jalen Hurts should not be the MVP. He didn't play like one. Well, neither did Patrick Mahomes, and yet he's in the MVP caliber class.
He played like one in the second half of that football game.
But they don't watch the game.
Dimes. Again, all year long, he's been dropping dimes. And it's different from these Purdy's and all these other backups. Like Jalen already was that guy. He was that guy 2 years ago when Carson was sucking. And they put
you know what? I don't fear the 49ers. I really don't. I think the 49ers, I always want to play the 49ers. Even when we had Carson Wentz, you remember when we had Carson Wentz that year in 2019, I wanted to play the 49ers because I think we could match up well against them. We had that run game. We were dominant. You know, that was when the 49ers went to the Super Bowl. Remember? I thought we could beat the 49ers. I don't think the 49ers are all that. And I get they got this elite defense. Okay. Well, I hope we find out if they're really that. Because it's all great and fine until you run into us. You know what I'm saying? The Jaguars had the best defense until they ran to us.
If you look through, if everybody got to go through Philly, we already won the Super Bowl, man. Like, if you start looking at all these playoff teams, to me, I don't feel like any of them really have the team, the complete team to beat us. Or if the rest of the team's kind of good, their quarterback's not good enough to be like, you know, yeah, they have a great defense over there in San Francisco, but Purdy's not going to beat us, NFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl.
The only one I think could really match up.
Bills, Allen, they're a good football team, but they're not complete when, we got a good 1,000-yard rusher and a good running quarterback.
Yeah, so they don't even running the football
there. And I think he gets smacked around too. And once he gets smacked around, you see how he plays. So I'm not worried about them. Not worried about Patty Mahomes. Because I think that he has weapons, but they're not their defense suspect. And their defense weapon get torched.
I think it's going to be the Bengals again, man. Like, I think if we go to the Super Bowl, we're playing the Bengals. You know what? I'll take that matchup all day because I don't think Joe Burrow can really beat us.
What do you think about it?
I like Joe Burrow, but I just think their offensive line is so bad. Like, I really don't think they can handle our defense. Or the Son Reddick coming out the edge. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shout out to Justin.
Your top three teams you want to play in the Super Bowl. Because, like, for me, I say KC, Miami, and Jacksonville if they can squeeze into the playoffs. Those are my top three teams. I want to see KC because I want to beat Andy Reid finally, and the Super Bowl be the best place to beat them. I want to see Miami because, like you said, the best two dual receivers over there. Then the whole Jalen Hurts Tua story gets relived all over again in the Super Bowl. That'd be nice to see. And then Dougie Peterson.
You see how much drama that would be right now?
Yeah, it'd be huge. And then, Dougie P, the only team to win the Super Bowl for the Eagles versus the Eagles in the Super Bowl. That would be epic too. Like all of those three of those games, you can have a huge storyline build up to the Super Bowl to make that game one of the most epic games.
Don't say that because they're everybody gonna, if that happens, they're gonna sit there and say, well, this is, how the fans are gonna sit there and say, well, this is scripted. First of all, it's the most dumbest. Whoever says that is stupid because football is not scripted. They actually have to play the game and it's physical. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people on YouTube talk about the Eagles are scripted because they beat the Giants. No, they just are a good team. The Giants. The Giants aren't a bad team like a lot of people think they are. They just ran into a better team than they are.
Yeah.
So we just play down to a competition a lot. But we are really, when we play the way we should be, we are one of the best teams in football. I feel like the Eagles play down to the competition. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the Bears game was a perfect example. We talk about we take the Bears seriously, but it looked like we really weren't. You know what I'm saying? Because we
I don't know.
again we
On
don't win
defense,
the
we were
football.
still getting stops early. It was our offense. Like I really feel that. That's why Jalen Hurts came out and said that. And I do agree with you. AK, he says Hurts MVP, Reddick win Defensive Player of the Year with
Mhm.
18 to 20 sacks. Facts, man. I
You
agree
know,
with
I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Michael Parsons really overrated.
that. I
I
think
think
he
he's
is too. Like, he's
I think
good.
he's
Don't get me
another
wrong, but
DeMarcus
he's not
Lawrence.
no LT type
No,
guy, man. He didn't do nothing against us the first game. He's not gonna do nothing against us this game. Eh,
he's not. He is a guy that is. I think he's a good player, but
What up,
you
Wes?
want to talk about people or system. I mean, this guy begged for his defensive coordinator back because he knows if another defensive coordinator came in, he would not have the same production. You want to talk about system? The guy is the perfect system for the Cowboys because honestly, I think the Cowboys can definitely replace Michael Parsons where you can't replace Jalen Hurts. You know, and anybody who thinks that Mitch you could have won this Chicago Bears game, I don't know what you want me to say because that's not going to happen. We won this game because of Jalen Hurts. We won this game because of front four. You don't win this football game without Jalen Hurts today. I'm sorry. We would have lost this game. Jalen Hurts put us in good positions to win. Even the Lions game, we don't win with Minshew. I mean, the fact that Chris Sims said that, it means he don't watch football.
They just like
He
to
don't
stir
watch
the pot,
football.
man. They just like to stir the pot because they know it's gonna get under us. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Mhm.
know it's gonna get under our skins a little bit. Like how you gonna say something stupid like that? You know, like systems. That does everybody's a system. Tom Brady was
Patrick
a
Mahomes
system
is a
quarterback.
system quarterback.
You
Like,
know?
look at his
Yeah.
system.
Andy Reid's offense he built for Patrick Mahomes. Okay, like Nick Sirianni's doing the same thing. He built this offense for Jalen Hurts and the rest of these cats.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like every team is a system, is somebody's system. So
Yeah.
when players play good in system, that's why some players play good. There's Eagle players. Remember when we had Jim Johnson defense? That some of those players didn't play good in that defense. Not Jim Johnson, Schwartz defense. They didn't play that good in Schwartz's defense. You know, but when they went to other teams like what's that dude named Rashid, the
So
one of
Douglas,
Douglas, and
Douglas,
even Sidney Jones played better after he left. We start to see all these players leave. You know, Hicks played better after he left. They left because it wasn't their system that make
yeah.
exploit their talents to their highest level. And yes, he's in a system that was built for him. He was lucky enough to
Even
have
even
an
Hassan
offensive
Reddick, even
coordinator.
Hassan. I bet I didn't mean to cut you off, but even Hassan Reddick, he's playing better than he was in Arizona. He's
Yeah,
playing better than he was in Arizona.
the
Even in
old
Carolina, I think this is his best season since what? Carolina in his second year? Was it? Like,
yeah.
this is his best season so far in his whole career. Like, he was meant to be a Philadelphia Eagle. And I believe if he was on the board, we would not draft Derek Barnett. I think we still would have drafted Hassan Reddick. Because I think that was our pick, and the Cardinals took him. We stuck with Derek Barnett. And I think Derek Barnett, to me, he's gone next year. He's not coming back.
I
You know what I'm saying?
know. Because you think about it, we haven't had the beginning when he was healthy, he didn't look bad. You know, and I
Derek
like
Barnett.
Derek Barnett. I
Derek
just
Barnett
think
stinks.
he's not as good as the guys we
He
got playing.
stinks.
But if he comes back in the playoffs, that's just going to add more fuel to our fire on defensive line. You know what I'm saying? He was a great run stopper, and his problem is being over aggressive. Being with the rest of these guys, Derek Barnett might get a couple sacks.
You know
Playoffs,
he
if
would
he
have
can make
crossed
it
us
back.
so
But I
many
don't think he's
flags right
coming back.
now, man. He would have targeted so many players, man. Come on. The only reason why we're 13-1, and I believe, is because we don't have the Derek Barnett curse. He's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? We're
BT
free
is
from
trash.
Derek Barnett.
He's not trash. He just made bad plays at the
He's
wrong time.
terrible.
You know, hey,
He's terrible.
Derek
He's not
Barnett
BG.
picked up
He's
that
not
Super
BG.
in the Super Bowl. We don't win without Derek Barnett making a play, big
But
dog.
we don't.
And he was
But we
always
don't win
doing
with also
run.
with Brandon Graham not stripping Tom Brady though.
Yeah, I just don't think he's as bad as everybody think he is. Like I don't think he's that bad of a player. Like he put the
You know,
reason why everybody thinks he's so
he's
bad
not worse
because
than
what he did
he's
in
not.
college, everybody
Mhm.
wanted to crown him the next Reggie White. So we all
Yeah, I didn't
expected him to come
understand.
out and be this great player, and he wasn't that great. So we are like, hey, dude, like you suck, you know, because you're supposed to be the greatest, and you suck because you're not doing
You,
that type of stuff. But he doesn't really suck. He's just not that great. You know what I'm saying? Like, they call him Parsons LT is a slap in the face for LT. It's going to stop 2 years, makes you at the level and all-time great. No, yeah, 2 years not making you all-time nothing.
no,
You know,
no.
you got to be
But you know, that's Dallas Cowboys fans for
I
y'all.
don't fear Michael Parsons. You know, he's good. Now, don't get me wrong, he is a good football player, but you know, he's not. You know, you disappear in big games. You know, you can't disappear in big games. And then
Lane Johnson
I'm gonna
owns
call you
him.
the greatest. The first was against us, first time around. My
Lane
Packers had
Johnson's his
nothing.
daddy. Lane Johnson's his daddy.
It's his daddy.
He owns
He
him.
didn't have nothing. So why are you talking shit?
No, he only had what,
You know?
3 pressures in the whole game against us? Come on, really? Really?
Sweat's definitely coming along. Yeah, he's definitely coming along, man.
Yeah,
I agree.
Sweat, and I think Sweat. Part of it, Sweat. The reason why he's getting a lot of pressure is because when you have to stop a guy like a Reddick who's coming off the edge, you got to stop a guy like Hargrave. You got Big Jordan Davis. You got a rotational front. You know, with Lindoff, Joseph, Sue. I mean, these boys are here to eat. You know what I'm saying? And they're hungry and they're motivated. And you give the other defense rest. Did you see how many rotational players we have? I'm so
But you
used to
heard Sweat say
Brandon
that,
Graham
though,
on.
right? You heard the interview with Sweat when he was talking about that. He was like, yeah, we're all fresh all game long, and we're all dogs. The first person to get it. And I told him, everybody, that's the reason why this team was going to be good from the beginning of the season, before the season started. I go, there's too much talent on this roster. We got so much talent for receivers. Smitty's looking at AJ like, whoa, 1,200 yards. I got to get my 1K. You know what I'm saying? I still got to let you know that I'm dangerous, too. I'm a number 1 receiver, too. You know what I'm saying? So you got Sweat and Barnett and Graham and all these guys. When one gets a sack, the other one's like, I need a sack, too. I need a sack. They're hungry. They're all hungry. Because they're all star players. They all need their staff. They all want to get paid. They all want to be the best at their position. When you got that many players on the same football team, it's hard to stop that football team.
You know what? Since we want to make excuses for Cowboy fans, I ain't gonna lie to you. That first pick for Jalen Hurts wasn't on Jalen Hurts at all. That was on Quez Watkins. He didn't break his route right. Because if you look at that play, Jalen Hurts threw that ball knowing Quez Watkins was going to come back to that route. He didn't break his route right. Like, if you look at Quez Watkins, he didn't come back for the ball. So, if we're going to do that, then let's do that with Jalen Hurts, because some of those throws that he made yesterday were, for example, some of his, the first one was not on Jalen Hurts. The second one might be because I think he was trying to find A.J. Brown, which was, I get it, was a bad throw. But the first one, that was Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins got to work on more of his route running, breaking, like, just find his route, run his route, and then come back and make sure your eyes on the ball when the quarterback's throwing to you. He'd sometimes break out his routes and not go to the football. He got to work on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, when people told me, do you see Pascal playing more? And I'm looking like, I like Quez Watkins, but he still is a little bit raw. And if you look at
He's not a star yet. He's not
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what you say about Quez. He's not a star yet.
He's good, but he needs a little bit more work.
He needs some more time. And that's fine, because he got AJ and Smitty in front of him, so he can take as long as he needs to take. As long as he continue to make a couple of big plays from here to there, he's going to always be relevant, and you can't teach that kind of speed. So as long as he's that fast, he don't hurt his leg, do anything to his leg, any leg injuries, he's going to always be that fast, if not faster. So he's always going to have a role on the team. So,
and BJ third one, we were talking about last year about how Jalen Hurts needs weapons. You see the difference when you give a quarterback weapons. Everybody now wants to say it's not fair anymore. Well, last year wasn't fair when he had no weapons. Look at Jalen Reagor. Not yesterday, but the day before. Look how he didn't even run his route right. That's what happens when you don't have receivers who run routes properly. You're going to make mistakes. Look at Kirk Cousins. He had to yell Jalen Reagor. Did you see another one on the sidelines? The coach was yelling at him and everything like that. You got 2 receivers that are actually helping the quarterback out. And that's what you need. I like Jalen Reagor, but I don't think his mind is right. You know what I'm saying? He's worried about the big plays rather than just come back for the ball and make a play. You know what I'm saying? The first ball, he refused to run a route.
But that's
like,
kind of
I'm so glad, honestly, I'm so glad that he's out of Philadelphia. I'm so glad he's in Minnesota, where he can stink with Kirk Cousins, and he can be with Justin Jefferson, because this is the best thing that ever happened to the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Getting rid of that bum, getting rid of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, getting those 2 scrubs out of here. You don't want to win a championship, get the hell out of here and go somewhere else where you feel like you're going to win, because we here trying to win a championship. If you're not on the championship road, it's time for you to go. And that's how I feel. I think Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are ready to win a Super Bowl. Jalen Reagor wasn't. And that's why he's out of here. You know what I'm saying?
And the Quez's point, too, like, you don't get as many balls thrown to you anymore. Last year, I think it was his best year because we didn't have A.J. Brown, and he got a lot more targets. So, but Quez is still, like I said, he's going to be fine. Like, that's the beauty of this team, guys. Like, this is the second year in the same system. And the fact that all these guys are like 24, 25 years old playing together. together. Like, people still on rookie contracts, people, not making that much money right now. Like, yes, they're gonna all need to get paid eventually, but the salary cap's gonna keep going up. So you're gonna be able to keep these young, talented guys together for years to come. Like, it's gonna be different. We're gonna have a real dynasty. I feel like this team is going to be a dynasty for sure. Like, there's no stopping us from being a
And I said this
dynasty.
to one
Major
of my
injuries,
friends.
maybe some players getting let go that we shouldn't let go, how they're making some mistakes in the front office, but I don't see him happening. I don't see that happening. But other than that, man, none of these guys are prime. AJ Brown's this is not the prime. It's not, he hasn't primed out yet. He hasn't peaked
He's
yet.
only 25 years old.
Yeah, Smitty's not
25 years
peaked
old.
yet.
Think
Jalen Hurts
about
hasn't
it, right?
peaked yet.
You trade a receiver, 1,000-yard receiver, for a first and a third when he didn't even hit his prime. You decided to pay, and I like Derrick Henry, but you see how he's losing his he's starting to lose a little bit of his speed. He's not the same guy anymore.
But he's still
He's
the king.
starting to lose a little bit.
He's still the
He's
best.
20 and going to be 29 soon. You know what I'm saying? You'd rather pay a 29-year-old than a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I get AJ.
But who knows? Like, maybe that works out for them next year or the year after, because that receiver they pick, I think he got potential to do something.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be AJ Brown, though.
Yeah,
and that's what they were counting on.
I
like Treylon Burks. But like I said, one thing about Treylon Burks is that
that's what we all wanted. When we weren't getting AJ, before we knew we got AJ Brown.
No, I didn't want Treylon Burks. I didn't want him.
I mean, like, as a fan base, they wanted, a Burks type guy out there.
I wanted, you know who I wanted? I wanted my boy George Pickens. Look how he's doing in Chicago. I mean, not Chicago, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah. Pickens, I like him.
He would have been a very much good replacement for AJ Brown if Tennessee drafted him.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, this team's looking good, man. What kind of game you think? Do you think this is going to be a close game this Saturday against the Cowboys? Like,
no.
Do you think?
I think we're going to blow them out. I think we're going to destroy them. I really do. And after that performance, the Eagles are upset how they played. They don't think they played to their best competition. And the shit that Michael, I don't mean to curse, but the thing that Micah Parsons said, I think that opened up a can of worms that he can't take back. You know what I'm saying? When you look when Kruger Hill opened his mouth. You remember and someone said this on the IG profile, and I thought it was interesting. When it was like when Kruger Hill said that, well, these are the Cowboys, they choke. We're gonna make them choke. Why would you say that? You know what I'm saying? You let your game talk, not your mouth. Especially when a rival. The fact that they weren't even preparing for the Jaguars, and Micah Parsons didn't even have a sack. He had one sack in the whole game. You know what I'm saying? And now you got a team that's coming off a big win. And they have everything to play for. They not only get to win the division in your hometown, your home stadium, they get to win their number one seed. They get to have, they're going to want to win that game. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to finish the job, and I don't think Nick Sirianni forgot what they've been saying last year. Don't forget that Nick Sirianni did not like what they had to say the last game, talking about we sweep y'all. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He don't forget that either. Our coach don't forget things. Our coach is like
Jalen don't forget either. He had, you see what happened. What was it, the first Giants game where he had his worst game ever? He came back and he rectified that.
And, his worst game was in Dallas.
The first Dallas game, when we played Dallas, he sucked ass. Nick sucked ass. Our coaching staff sucked ass. So they all got some kind of respect. It's been a redemption year for the Eagles and their players and teams.
And you know what? I hate the fact that we have to hear about Dak Prescott. Oh, you didn't beat Dak Prescott. I'm tired of hearing that because we don't know we know it's not true at all. We beat him in 2019. We beat him in 2017. And I'm hearing a lot of Cowboy fans chirping after they barely snuck into the playoffs, after they needed the Giants to help them because they couldn't finish their food themselves. They couldn't take care of their business. They needed someone else to help them out because we know the Philadelphia Eagles, when they need to do something, they'll do it. You know what I'm saying? When we needed, it was like in 2018, they're happy about winning the division, but they can't do what the Eagles did. They can't go on a road and win it, go almost to an NFC Championship game where we did in 2018, on our backs against the wall. We are a different team than they are. They are not like us. And I keep on saying they can't go into cold weather like even the Bears in Chicago. It's different to play in Dallas. The Bears team might not be good away, but they're damn good at home. And they showed it. They're good at home more than away. You know what I'm saying? They're a very, very tough
Castro,
team.
Thanks for stopping by. He says, go Birds. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. That's why I don't think it's going to be a close game in Dallas. I think we're going to absolutely rip them apart. I think Micah Parsons opened their mouth. And if you don't think the Eagles were looking forward to that Cowboys game, sometimes I felt like in that game they were looking past the Bears a little bit. I think they were really shown. They really wanted to get that game over with so they could focus on the Eagles. I mean, Nick Sirianni didn't have a speech at all. He said, "All right, let's go to the next game." I already know he's pissed off right now. You know what I'm saying? If you don't think he's pissed off after what Jalen Hurts was told by what Michael Parsons said about Jalen Hurts, you're crazy. They don't forget things. We arrive over here, and I don't know if Michael Parsons don't know this. He's gonna learn this week. You don't open your mouth. You don't say stuff that you don't mean.
I think he
You
has
better
the
go out
same
there.
kind of
You
game
better
he had
back
the
up your
first
player.
game, a non-factor. You
Yeah,
know
didn't
why?
DeMarcus Lawrence
Because
say
he's a
we them
star.
boys?
It goes back to the rule of thumb. The Eagles winning this year is we shut down your stars. Okay,
DeMarcus
period.
Lawrence
And
in the
that's
first.
offensively, that's
Mhm.
defensively. Either way, when you got a star, you're gonna get shut down. Like you're gonna get tuned down. And the
I
first
mean,
game he went against Parsons, he didn't do nothing till Lane went out in the late in the third. So
well,
don't come
it's
on
not
here
even that. You
that.
watch DeMarcus
You
Lawrence
schemed him
open
out.
his mouth. He opened his mouth talking about, oh, he has to face us, and you watch him get humbled. Why would you even say that when you know your own teammate opened his mouth and lost the game? You would think as a Cowboy player, if you just got humbled the first time, you don't run your mouth. You got CeeDee Lamb before Michael Parsons opened his mouth. Talk about what do you think of? They're asking him, what do you think of the Christmas and the Cowboys game? And he talking about, I can't wait to play them. They're a good team. And I'm like, okay, that's respectful. But Michael Parsons had to open his mouth and talk about, Jalen Hurts is the system quarterback. Oh, it's a scheme. And like, who cares? And why is Von Miller talking? You should be worried about recovering off an ACL and coming back for the Bills. The fact that you're on
No,
a
but Vaughn, that's
podcast.
his podcast. He didn't ask the question. Parsons came out with that. Like
No, but Von Miller asked that question. Von Miller wanted to stir some little beef over there. You know that. Come on, man. You
he
know
asked
that.
it. Parsons asked the question to Von Miller.
But why was he even
Devon was
talking?
even saying like he wasn't even expecting that. That's why he answered like that. He was shocked that he didn't expect that. He was like, it was his show. He didn't expect that Parsons was just gonna come out like that and say, is this scheme or is it a player? Like it's a little bit of both. That's what Vaughn said. He got great
Listen,
players around him, and
I
he's good.
I come from old school where I don't think anybody player should have a podcast at all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think you need to play your game and stop talking. And when you
I don't
retire,
know
you can have
because
all
that
the podcasts you want.
Kelsey podcast, both Kelsey, Travis, and
But Kelsey's about to retire next year, and he's
both
playing. And
that show is awesome. I love watching that show.
Kelsey and
That
Travis Kelsey,
the
they're
best
cool. I mean,
podcast, best sports podcast there is right now, and they've only just started.
and now that when we beat Dallas, we only can not only clinch the division, we can listen to the Christmas carols.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's gonna be
That's going
sad
to
Christmas for the Cowboys, man. It's gonna be very sad for those guys.
And think about this. Let's say we win the Super Bowl this year. We got a first round pick next year. You remember the Saints don't got a first round pick.
Yeah,
Think about that. You
got
got
two first-round
potential
picks
not
next
only to get better.
yeah.
I don't mean it's my fault, but but this is the first time I think since 2017 we actually have a good system. All right, and you know what? I
Do
think
you
Jalen
think
Hurts
this is the
built for a long
best
time.
Eagles team ever?
I mean, best team talent wise.
The best Eagles team you've ever watched, ever?
See, if we want to talk about best team and talent wise, like the best team ever, you got to also bring up the 2004 Eagles team. I mean, their defense was crazy with B-Doc, Jeremiah
What were
Trotter.
their receivers that year?
Yeah, they got T.O. though.
One.
T.O. Kidston.
And as we seen earlier, AJ's already better than that season.
Yeah, he is. I mean, AJ Brown's a different breed, man. I mean, when we first got him, I told you that we were going 16-1 this year. I knew when we got AJ Brown, I said this Eagles receiving coach just got better. You know what I'm saying? I think honestly, this Eagles team got better with just AJ Brown on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like AJ Brown to me was the perfect receiver complement to Devontae Smith. And I do think that the Philadelphia Eagles, honestly, when they traded for AJ Brown, they looked at the Tennessee Titans and said, okay, you're giving your number one receiver away for pretty much a first and a third? That's cheap for me. Hey, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still figuring out how he's still on this team. Like, we got AJ Brown for a first and a third. You get Chauncey going, I'm telling you like this, Bird Game 31. That Saints GM is gone next. He's getting fired next. You watch Chauncey Gone Jr. going to come back with revenge.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think he was mad? He was mad when they traded him.
Yeah. Facts.
You don't think that Saints GM going to get fired? I'm telling you, every GM that traded one of the players to the Eagles is not going to be a job next year for them.
Mhm.
They're going to be on the employment line. You know what I'm saying? Harry Roseman's taking jobs.
AJ's ceiling was just covered up by Derrick Henry and over there, and I think they just made a decision. Do they feel like Tannehill was a good enough, quarterback, or do they have a good enough quarterback to keep a passing attack and maybe get, go away from Derrick Henry, trade him or something like that to get assets to make your passing game better, or do they get something now? There's a lot of decent receivers in the draft, and go draft one of these guys and just hope for the best and keep right.
You know what I said? I said next year I think they would try to trade Derrick Henry. I mean, when you get a new GM in the building, he's going to think different long term. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry's a good player, but the Tennessee Titans, it looks like they're going to be rebuilding again because they when AJ Brown left, their whole team went out the door. It's like when we really released Deshaun Jackson, we weren't that same team. You know, so when you release a guy, when you trade a guy like,
Shady, Jackson, Macklin, all those guys.
Yeah. I mean, you're not the same team. You destroyed a chemistry that was built in the locker room.
Mhm.
You can't just trade a player and think drafting another player is going to help. That's Madden. That's what you do on video games. You can't do that in real life. And that GM thought playing Madden was reality where you can just trade a superstar receiver and draft a receiver and think that's going to be okay. No, when you traded AJ Brown, you essentially just got yourself fired because it's like, number one, you trade with us, the Philadelphia Eagles, who already got Devontae Smith. If I'm a Tennessee GM and I see you already have a number one, I'm not trading you a number one receiver when you already got a number one over there. That's just to me a ready to lose mentality right there. And you saw Deebo Samuel, the Tennessee Titans fan on YouTube, and I agree with him, was Deebo Samuel wanted to be traded. Did the 49ers trade him? No, they said, we're going to pay you. You're going to sit right where you are, and we're going to pay you what you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans GM just flat out wanted to get rid of him. And I guess the owner didn't like that because I don't think she knew about it. Which would be hard to believe because doesn't the GMs have to go to the owner and say, hey, at least our GM has to go to the
try
owner.
To cover their backs, man. And Quest,
exactly.
I do agree because if we win it all, actually, like if we lose in like the division the conference championship or something like that, then I guess we wouldn't be the best team ever. But when we win a Super Bowl this year, I think this will be the best Eagles team of all time. And I really think, honestly, if we continue to path that we're on, because imagine this: 2,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard running back, a 4,000-yard rushing quarterback. A defensive line with 4 guys in double-digit sacks. Your top cornerback duel in the league. Like it will go down as the best team ever if we win a Super Bowl. Continue this path, the best team ever.
A lot of people talk about where's the superstar quarterback. Well, here he is. That's Jalen Hurts. Y'all wanted the superstar quarterback. Y'all wanted the Watsons, the Wilsons, but you didn't look at the number 2 quarterback that we drafted. You didn't look at the number 1 quarterback that was chosen in the second round. When they drafted Jalen Hurts, when they said, Carson Wentz, we don't need you anymore. Get the hell out of here and go to the Colts. I don't mean to curse on your channel. I know you don't want it that. My fault. I'm going to try a little bit not to do that. But when they told Carson Wentz to pack your bags and go to Indianapolis, they saw something in Jalen Hurts that we didn't see. And that was, and people say, well, he wasn't there to be the guy going forward. It was. Because when you draft a quarterback in the second round, you don't start a guy as a backup. You start him as a starter. You know what I'm saying? Carson Wentz wants in the future going forward. They said Jalen Hurts is the guy going forward. And they built around him. You know what I'm saying? The question we saw last year was he had no weapons. Let's be real.
It's not that he didn't have no weapons. They weren't developed weapons. Because you think about it, it was Goddard, it was Ertz, it was
But Chris Watkins really wasn't a legit weapon. His best weapon really was Devontae Smith and Goddard. He didn't have he had Jalen Reagor who had his eyes closed versus the Giants game, which to me, that's really when everything went down where I'm like, all right, he got to go. You know what I'm saying? Because Jalen Hurts, he had, even in the Giants game last year, he still would have won that game. If you caught that football, we wouldn't be talking about maybe Jalen Reagor getting traded.
But the only reason why we really hate on Jalen Reagor is because we spun the first-round pick on him. Like, he sucked, he couldn't live up to the potential, I really think, maybe if you even kept him on the roster this year, he probably would have made a couple plays this year sometime throughout the day. You know why? Because he wouldn't have had the pressure of having to be the best. When you put him the pressure of being the best, he was not a best. He's not an elite receiver in the game. And he wasn't ever going to be. And that was just too much pressure for him.
No, he had to go, man. Once
He
you
had
got
to go for
AJ
sure,
Brown,
but
once you got AJ Brown, you got Quez Watkins. You can't keep a number one. Yeah, there was no way we're keeping him. So when you got AJ Brown, you solidified Jalen Rager's roster spot. You basically said you got to go. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly think that Jalen Rager was really upset when we traded for AJ Brown. I mean, did you see him take off his Twitter and his Instagram? He was mentally defeated after that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think his attitude was also right. I mean, he looked like he didn't want to be here. His
which one do you
attitude
think
was
is
bad.
bigger, AJ Brown or Hassan Reddick? And that's for you guys in the chat too. Which one's bigger to you, AJ Brown or Hassan Reddick?
I mean, they're both significant, man. I
That's
mean,
why I'm
I,
saying which one do you
I'm
think
gonna
is
go with AJ
bigger
Brown. I'm gonna go
impact?
with AJ Brown. I think Hassan Reddick's a good player, but AJ Brown meant a lot to Jalen Hurts. AJ Brown is really helping Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is helping AJ Brown, but AJ Brown to me made that offense explosive. If you take AJ Brown off this offense and you just add someone like Jalen Rager, okay, your boy.
No, don't say Jalen Rager. No, you gotta go. If you took, how about this? If you took AJ off the roster, right, with the same pieces, I mean, the same defense, the same offense of players, right, and we don't get AJ Brown, but we would have added like a Juju Smith-Schuster.
We want to be the same offense.
You don't think so?
No, no, I don't. I don't. I like Juju Smith-Schuster, but I don't think that we would have that. AJ Brown's just a different breed, dude. He's a different breed. I mean, I like Juju Smith-Schuster, but I don't think you get those monster yards that AJ Brown provides. AJ Brown.
Okay, how about this? If we didn't get AJ, but we got Tyreek Hill, will we be better?
No, because well, no, because he probably. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get all those pieces. Also, you wouldn't get Chauncey Gardner Jr. because you would have to get that would go to Kansas City. We would look what Miami gave up to get him. All
Yeah.
those pieces. They give up a
But
lot to get him. We give up less, pretty much. And we would have to pay him all that money too.
yeah,
Because he got a big contract over there. He's what, 28? He got a big contract over there. AJ
yeah.
Brown is making less than Tyreek Hill. He's making less than DK Metcalf and Debo Samuel. That's what's great about
I
the
do agree.
deal.
He fits this team, and like you said, that's the biggest piece ever. He was already best friends with your quarterback.
I mean, I
That's
like
a
Tyreek
rarity.
Hill,
Like
but
that doesn't never really happen. There's been quarterback receiver duels where over the years, end up becoming best friends, and what I'm saying, they like really close players. But like these guys been best friends. They're both really young, so what I'm saying, like they watch each other, they follow each other, and now they're on the same team together. They understand what makes each other click. Like they said, they're able to talk to each other. Like boys and like teammates on the field. So yeah, that was a
listen,
huge,
Tyreek Hill
huge
would
move.
be. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I'll work on it. But Tyreek Hill's a good right player, but you would have had to pay him all that money. Now, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted Tyreek Hill. I wanted the Eagles to trade
And
for
money
him.
aside, do you think we would have a more explosive offense?
Oh, absolutely. The Tyreek Hill's a burner. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
We
think
got a
Jalen Hurts
burner
would go
in.
crazy with him. Huh?
We got a burner in Quez.
But you talk about Tyreek Hill speed over Quez Watkins? Come on, man.
Nah, not the same.
I mean, I like Quez Watkins, but
Tyreek was the best receiver in the
no
game, I
Tyreek
thought, for a
Hill.
while. Yeah.
Imagine Tyreek Hill and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. Just imagine that. I mean, that wouldn't have happened, but I'd
Yeah.
rather have that over Quez Watkins. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd take Tyreek Hill over Quez Watkins, though.
Well, no
But,
crap. Anybody do that?
yeah, I know. I mean, I like Quez Watkins, but I think he's still a little bit raw, And I think eventually,
Like if Andy Reid was like, give me Smitty, Quez, and a first round pick, and we trade you Tyreek Hill, would you have did?
no,
No, but we got AJ. But we still got AJ.
no, because Devontae Smith is really a good route runner. Devontae Smith is also younger.
You don't think AJ and Tyreek would be more dangerous?
Yeah, they might be, but Tyreek Hill is going to be 30.
That don't mean
You
nothing.
got
Like,
Devontae Smith. He's only
he's
what?
still, like,
24?
look at him. He's gonna have 2,000 yards this year. Like, what are you talking about?
Would you trade Smithy for Tyreek Hill right off and Quez Watkins?
Yeah.
And that's why you're not the GM and Howard Roseman is.
I would. I mean, like for short-term success, yes. For
I
next 3
might
years,
need I might
he's
need
still young enough.
Tyreek Hill and
But
someone
like I
else
said,
back
he's like
there.
Besides what? Who has more yards? Justin Jefferson. I think he might have more yards. Justin
But
Jefferson.
but
But
if you
other
just
than that,
train two, if you train two
these guys are
receivers,
about to go over 2,000 yards. Like that don't normally happen ever. Like
but here's the
when
thing:
the
if you train
last
two
time a
receivers,
receiver had
let's say
2,000
that
yards, I
trade
don't
was
know.
on the table, right? And you trade Tyreek Hill for Devon. I need someone else other than Tyreek Hill back because I'm trading two franchise pieces to your franchise.
No, because you're only trading Devontae Smith and Quez
Who's a
Watkins.
franchise piece? You don't think he'd be helping Patrick Mahomes right now?
Watkins not a franchise piece.
Who?
I said Watkins. He's not a franchise piece.
He's not a franchise piece for the receiving corps right now.
No, I think we can replace him.
Woo! Woo!
I like him.
I never
I
thought you
love
would say
him.
that.
I
But
love
you know,
him being on
you
our
know
team
what?
right now. But I'm just saying, in that scenario, if you looked at Smitty, Quez for Tyreek Hill,
I want
and
to
then
trade Smith.
but
Though.
you still traded in a draft. You
No.
still traded in a draft. You still got AJ Brown. I don't know, man. That's a good debate, I think.
No,
I feel good
I,
about it. I would feel good about it. Like whatever, because you're gonna have to
I
pay.
love Smitty
Listen,
though,
if
man.
Quez continues
Listen.
to get better, you're gonna have to pay him. And Smitty, you're gonna have to pay him eventually anyway. So
Well, I'm letting Quez Watkins go. I'm not taking him over Smithy. Smithy's getting paid. Smithy's getting the big bucks.
I would have considered it.
You would
The
have considered
Eagles didn't
trading
have any
Devontae
first-round
Smith.
picks. They picked up, but then we wouldn't have Jordan Davis either. That would.
No, we wouldn't have. We probably don't
Well,
get
didn't he
AJ
get
Brown
traded
too.
during the season? though? He got traded during the season, didn't he? He got traded during the season, right?
Who?
So it'd be next year's first-round pick.
Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill got traded during closer to the combine, didn't he?
Was it?
Yeah, he got traded. He got traded during free agency. He got traded in free agency because it was.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did go.
It was the Jets. It was the
Yeah, you're
Jets
right.
and the
It wasn't his first
Dolphins.
season. Yeah, you would have to give up one of those first.
I
We
made
wouldn't have
that
Jordan
video
Davis.
too.
I love
ain't
Jordan
gonna lie to
Davis.
you.
So yeah, I wouldn't do the trade either. Now that I think about it, no.
I
Jordan
know you
Davis.
wouldn't do it because you would
But
watch
I'm saying
Devontae
for
Smith
a
and
pure
Patrick Mahomes
receiver
go crazy.
standpoint, if you had Tyreek Hill and AJ Brown as your two-star receivers with Dallas
But
Goedert,
you gotta understand this. With Tyreek Hill succeeding next on his offense, though, maybe that offense just fits the Tyreek Hill and
yeah, because Tyreek Hill better than Smitty.
He might be right now, but down the road, who's going to be there?
I don't know if Smitty will ever put up Tyreek Hill numbers.
He might not put up Tyreek Hill numbers. No one's going to be like Tyreek. Tyreek Hill's a burner.
But you see, even with another guy like Waddle, still puts up the big numbers too with him.
But I think Devontae Smith over Waddle. I think Devontae Smith's a better player than Waddle. I really do. But you understand, they're two different receivers. Tyreek Hill is a speed burner.
Like he's a possession receiver, Smitty, and I love him. Like he is awesome. He's
going to sound like you sound like you want to get rid of him.
But I told you guys from his jump that I wanted Waddle. That whole draft, I wanted Waddle. I was mad that we were at 6 and he got drafted 6 overall. I'm like, damn, that could have been our pick. And if you
I honestly thought Devontae
he's having a great year. Waddle's dangerous, man.
You know. I thought
Miami together. It's because they're both explosive and dangerous.
I thought Miami was going to take Devontae Smith. I really thought we were actually going to get Waddle. You would think Devontae Smith would have been a Dolphin.
I think he's great. But both of them, like you're like
no. But BG
do you like better? Like did they
the way the mock drafts were heading? They were talking about Devontae Smith should have been way over Waddle. He won the Heisman. If you're the Dolphins,
yeah, but
I still would have taken Devontae Smith
if Waddle doesn't get hurt.
If I was the Dolphins, I would have drafted Devontae Smith. There was no way in hell I would let him go past me.
I love him. Like I said, I love me some Spinny. Don't get me wrong, but I did. I watched them both play. I love Waddle too, and I think Waddle's.
I like Waddle too. But let me ask you a question.
He's like top 5 in receiving. When your partner, they're both in the top 10. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's what, 2nd, and then Waddle's like 6th or something like that. Like, how are you both in the top 10? Like that. Those are like the only yards Tua even has this year. What up, BB?
Let me tell you something. Devontae Smith's when it's all said and done, he's going to be better. You're not even going to think of Tyreek Hill anymore.
Like I said, over the years, they will be the best. And I'm happy with Smitty.
Did you see his route running yesterday?
Yeah, he's great route runner. One of the best in the league and going to continue to get better. Hopefully he can gain at least 5 more pounds. That works.
Someone put in the comments on NFL. It was on NFL Highlights. Somebody put in the comments that he's a baby Moss. Maybe Randy Moss.
He's just really good. He's a really good receiver. Like, don't get me
He,
wrong. He
he
is
has that route running like
really
Devontae
good.
Adams, though. He has that route running a little bit like Devontae Adams.
Like
His
all the
route runs are
Alabama
so
receivers that
close.
come out, like, why do you like Jerry Judy? Because Judy can run routes. Why do you like who else came from Alabama that's really good? What was that boy? What's that boy name?
You know, a lot of people got mad at me when I said we should trade Quest Watkins for Jerry Judy.
I would see that would be nice too. Though. I like Judy.
I
Who's the
like
other
Judy
Alabama
too.
dude that's really good at running routes?
I
Amari
mean,
Cooper. Amari
I
Cooper,
like
they're like
Quest
Cooper is
Watkins.
really good at running routes. Like they're all like technicians in turning that route
Mhm.
around.
And
And
you know, the Cowboys
but even
desperately
even
need him now.
Water knows how to run really good routes. You know,
Yeah,
it's
the
just like
Cowboys
that's
should
why
have
they
never got
breed
rid
them
of
out there
Amari
in
Cooper.
Alabama. Those receivers are pretty good. Jalen Williams, he finally playing for the Lions. You know, I think he's gonna get better as the season goes
Yeah,
on. And
he's a monster. That
they
was one
got
of the guys I
monsters
wanted
coming
in
out of
the draft.
Alabama, man.
I wanted him in the draft. I thought he was going to be good for next year. I ain't gonna lie to you. If there's somehow not this year, but next year, let's say Quest Watkins doesn't develop, I might go after my guy. If we get a top first, let's say we trade back next year, and let's say next year, next year, but the 2023 Quest Watkins doesn't develop, you got a chance to get one of the best receivers coming out of Ohio State. Marvin Smith Jr. I mean Marvin Harrison Jr. You add
Yeah,
him with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown.
that's dangerous. That's dangerous. You know, who look good this weekend. You're talking about juniors, right? You talking about juniors. What about? Did you see Frank Gore Jr. His game this weekend? I think he had like 300 something yards rushing. It was
There's a
crazy.
lot of juniors, man.
Yeah,
You know
there's a
what I'm
lot
saying?
of juniors, man.
You know the
What's
junior
your
we should
favorite
really
player?
have right now. You know the junior we should really have gotten, and I like Landon Dixon, but we could definitely got him later. Was Asante Samuel Jr. Imagine we had him with the secondary.
You know who I was surprised as a junior didn't do anything? Not too surprised if you look at some of the goats of all time. Michael Jordan's son didn't really do nothing, and there's a couple other really good sports athletes that were like best of their that had kids that weren't that great. And it's Barry Sanders Jr. You know,
Mhm.
Barry Sanders Jr. I thought he was going to do something big. Like he had some really good. He just didn't like football as much, because he had some good college tape. He had some good definitely had some good high school stuff, and he was a little bit bigger than Barry. So it would have been nice to see if him come out and played some football, made it
Yeah,
to the
but
end.
you know the best cornerback
Jerry
that's
Rice,
went on
remember
last year?
Jerry Rice Jr.? He sucked too.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
crazy.
of people like their fathers, man. Look at Jalen Rager. His father was never like his son.
Even Jalen Rager dad, he was good, but he wasn't no great player. Like
But he was better than Jalen Rager though. Right now,
he played a different position. He's a big guy.
I mean, we can argue this, like, when I hear people in the comment section and they still complain about, oh, we should have had Justin Jefferson. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we got AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith, and I like Justin Jefferson. Give me Devontae Smith over AJ. Give me Devontae Smith and AJ Brown over Justin Jefferson. I think those two are very good for this team. I like Devontae Smith, man.
No, would you rather have Justin Jefferson over AJ Brown?
No,
Me
no,
either.
because Justin Jefferson does not win in games that you really need him to win. Look at the Cowboys game. Look at the Eagles game. Those are the games where your receivers, number one receiver, got to
Jefferson
get open.
He might be the best receiver in the game too right now.
So
Jefferson.
I like Jefferson, but give me the
He'll
guy
be-
that's going to be productive when you need him the most.
It's Kirk Cousins that sucks. Imagine if Justin Jefferson had a good quarterback. Wasn't
Imagine if he had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. You know how many yards Justin Jefferson would have? Man.
You remember Patrick Mahomes has no weapons right now.
Time ever. I promise you, if they had Justin Jefferson and they got rid of Tyreek, they wouldn't be worried about it. I'm telling you. Like,
Imagine Patrick Mahomes having weapons, and so everybody wants to about he has no weapons. He's doing everything with less. Come on, stop it, man.
that's
Juju
bullshit.
Smith-Schuster still.
That's the only thing they can say. But even when Kansas City was winning those Super Bowls, their defense wasn't like number one in the league. So that's the only thing. Is like their defense is kind of soft. Their defense kind of soft, but they've always been that offensive led team. Like, and Patty, in terms of like the MVP category, to say he don't have weapons, like I said, they drafted a receiver, whether it's Sky Moore or whatever. They still had that one dude, that running back Pachero or whatever his name is. That dude's balling out this year. And Juju, I love Juju Smith-Schuster. I wanted to pick him up this offseason.
He would have come to Philadelphia.
Lazard from Green Bay. Lazard had big plays with Aaron Rodgers over there in Green Bay. So They have players, man.
You mean
Like,
Valquez Scantling? Valquez Scantling?
yeah, Scanlon. Yeah, that's what not Lazard. Scanlon. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they picked up some players. Are they Tyreek Hill? No. But are they good enough to win football games when you have the best tight end who was really, even when Tyreek was there, it was still Kelsey's first and then Tyreek,
But
second.
it's so crazy. Everybody talk about Jalen Hurts. Look at the weapons he has. It's so unfair. But what about the Kansas City Chiefs when they had weapons? Wasn't that not
And they're the
unfair?
same weapons he had last year. That's the really part that's so stupid. You say he doesn't have weapons last year, but they're all besides AJ or everybody else the same.
Yeah,
Goddard, Smitty, Quez,
and he still took them to
Miles
the playoffs.
Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell. They're all the same weapons.
And Jalen Hurts still took those so-called no weapons receivers to the playoffs.
hmm They
What a
added
bad
more
record.
confidence. They boosted. They all worked hard this offseason, and now they are legitimate weapons in the league.
Mhm.
Smitty,
And,
even though he
and
had what 9, he broke the rookie record last year, but you seen that he needed to grow a little bit more. He needed to get a little bit
and look
better,
at him now.
and now he
Look at
looks
him
great.
now.
And then imagine him next year. And like I'm saying, like the team to be this good, that's why you need to get a site now. The team to be this good, and all these guys got so much more growth to go. Like they're not even primed out. They're not even peaked nothing. They're no ceiling. It's like on the third floor right now. Still figuring things out. And imagine when they're all gelling,
Did,
in
did you
prime
did you see
mode. We're
that
gonna be
play?
like,
Did you see that play where Jalen Hurts threw it right through Devontae? Devontae kept his feet in and caught that versus the
yeah,
Bears. That
yeah.
was like I was like, ooh, that's elite. That's a number one receiver. When your quarterback needs a play and your quarterback and your receiver is finding ways to make plays, even though they're let's be real. I mean, the defender had good coverage on him. And he was able just to make him miss, make a little miss, make the defender miss a little bit and go to where the quarterback needs you the most, and you make a play and keep your feet in bounds. That's elite right there.
And
Only
the
certain receivers
balls
can
that
do that.
Jalen Hurts throw are elite. After this season, we never have to worry about anyone saying Jalen can't throw. I feel like we
Oh,
we
there's going
should
to be people saying that.
we
Listen,
should have reached out.
when we win a Super Bowl this year, they're going to say, well, he hasn't done it with no weapons. Well, AJ Brown made him elite. Look at the roster he has. Put Patrick Mahomes under there. Put
Like
Allen
when they
under
say
there.
that
They
though,
would be
what they
elite too.
forget is like when you're leading in passer percentage and pass and what I'm saying, like all these number one and third downs and all that stuff. That's all a quarterback's IQ. You know what I'm saying? Like that's quarterback IQ. When you lead in those, that means you are the best quarterback in the league right now because everybody else is making more mistakes than you are. So, see,
But my
we
logic
gotta
is
can't get
right.
caught up in all the stats all the time,
Mhm.
but you can't. You gotta have the eye test too. He's just different. He's 100% balanced, like,
Yeah.
and that's what makes him so dangerous. He's just as dangerous running the football as he is, passing the football. But guess what? His passing got that much better that no one expected. So now that puts him over the top.
Jalen Hurts has been through everything, right? He's been to everything that a lot of quarterbacks want to be able to handle. The one that we got rid of couldn't handle it, and that was if you got benched in college. That really helps you long ways because it's like, okay, this is what happens if I'm bad. I get benched. I know what it's like not to be on a football team. I got to
Mhm.
transfer. Probably that's what happens if you get traded. You transfer to another team. So he's been through the worst. So
Facts.
that's why now you're seeing a guy that wants to win. He's hungry to win, and he's going to continue to win because he's been through the playoffs. He knows what it's like to lose the playoffs. He experienced the pain and the suffering. You know what I'm saying? The big games is what he's all about. The kid is only going to grow. I'm telling you right now, if we go to Super Bowl, we're not going to have a quarterback that's going to choke. You know what I'm saying? All these other quarterbacks, let's be real, all these other quarterbacks that choked in Super Bowls, they never been through what Jalen Hurts has been through. They always had a receiving core around them in college. They always had a great defense around them. They're probably from teams like Clemson and great league defense, a great offensive line, a great receiving core. Jalen Hurts really didn't have all that. He was a backup to Tua. You know what I'm saying? These other quarterbacks in the league that go to the Super Bowls and choke in Super Bowls because they've never been through what Jalen Hurts has been through. And I'm telling you right now, Jalen Hurts is going to take that. He's going to take that all the way until he's done as an Eagle and hopefully retires an Eagle. He's going
Yeah,
to be great for a
yeah.
long time. He is going to be the next great quarterback that's going to be like, why does he continue to win? How does he find ways to win? You know what I'm saying? When you don't expect Jalen Hurts to win, he finds ways to win. Even the Bears game, yeah, when you need a big play from him, he doesn't. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? It's hard as a rock out there throwing the football. And he's still able to deliver with accuracy. You know what I'm saying? Now people talk about, well, Mahomes don't win it. Well, Jalen Hurts wasn't playing like an MVP. Well, what about the throws that he was making? we talk about the throws. We talk about Josh Allen's arm. We talk about the accuracy he's making. We talk about Mahomes' accuracy. But look at Jalen Hurts' accuracy. From year one to year two, he's gotten so much better. His accuracy, you can't sit there and say he's not throwing the ball with precision and accuracy because he's done it. He's doing it right now. Even
Right.
last year, we had some balls where he was throwing on the money. And it was
Yeah.
just the receivers weren't getting the football because they weren't running the routes. Jalen Rager, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I mean, the balls
Mhm.
are right in your hands and you drop it. These receivers are not dropping the balls. That's why they're winning games because the receivers are catching the ball. That's what good receivers do. A.J. Brown ain't dropping the balls. He's not closing his eyes when he needs to make a play. Devontae Smith, you know he's going to be reliable. So now you've seen receivers catching the football, and Jalen Hurts with his accuracy that I think he still had it last year. I just think that he didn't have the players to execute with him because he's on a different level than these a lot of receivers except Devontae Smith,
That's
who's
true.
been his number one since he got here. Let's remember,
Yeah.
Devontae Smith's been the number one last year for him, and he's a rookie. And they all grew together. Now you've seen a guy that's transitioned from year, and I still think that Jalen Hurts was in his rookie year last year. I know a lot of people say, well, it's his third year. Not really. He didn't play a full season until
Mhm.
last year. You know what I'm saying? You still got to play as a quarterback. When you were in a full season last year, this was his full season as an Eagle. You go through growing pains,
Oh
and
yeah,
you
he
don't
has.
become that quarterback that a lot of people want, and a lot of people gave up on him. I
Mhm.
heard the Deshaun Watson talk. Do you know if we traded for Deshaun Watson right now? I don't think we're 13-1.
The Eagles will be 3-8 right now,
Do you see
waiting for
Deshaun
Watson to
Watson how
play.
bad he's been?
Oh
So
my
much of a
God,
superstar quarterback, right?
that's not.
That's a system quarterback that might be good in Houston. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Look at
that
Russell Wilson. Look how bad he is. Everybody wanted Russell Wilson. Look how bad he is in Denver. No one even
trash.
likes him in Denver.
Remember, I told everybody too he's gonna suck there. I told everybody the weapons were way horrible compared to what he had in Seattle. Come on now, that was a bad move from
Look
Russ.
what Denver
That
gave
was
up to get
required.
him, though. Look how much they gave up. They gave up a first round pick. They're not
Yeah,
even gonna have a first round pick
that was
next
dumb.
year.
That was dumb.
And you can't. I don't think you can even trade Russell Wilson because you gave him all that money, guaranteed. All for what? To be a shiny toy, so you can look good on papers and not really win games. I don't want to
And
be
that's,
that.
and that's
Give
a
me
fact,
Jalen Hurts
Chris.
all day.
Mahomes does throw like 40 times a game. That's a fact too.
But
You know,
here's the
that's
thing.
Andy
Here's the thing.
Reid though. That's our boy Andy. You know what he does. That's why
That's
that's
great. You throw 40 to 50 times.
yeah.
But I like a team that runs the football. I like a team that throws the football too. You know what I'm saying?
Consistently winning championships
Because
by being able to run.
if you look at the Bengals last year, you know why they lost? So it wasn't because of their offense. It wasn't because of their Joe Burrow. It wasn't because of all that. It was because their coach wanted to be a pass happy offense and not run the football. Because let's be real, the Rams defense really wasn't all that. If you threw the football and you ran the football and you were designing plays that actually helped your quarterback, the Bengals would have been a Super Bowl champion last year. Their coach went in the game trying to be a pass happy offense and look flashy instead of worrying about doing one thing. That was to keep the team honest. Put the ball in good, make the quarterback read a defense, make sure you run the football, not to be pretty, but to be a football team that can
It's
kill you in
consistency
different
and
ways.
balance. Yeah, consistency and balance. And as long as we still got all these
Mhm.
stars, that's why I really think it's going to be hard to stop. It's going to be hard to stop this defensive line from getting to you because you don't know who to stop. Pick your poison, who you're going to double team, and then the rest of those guys going to go eat. It's going to be hard to stop this offense when you got Goddard, Smitty, AJ, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, all
Gainwell.
working at a high level. Gainwell, Scott, Scott on return, man. Talk about a smart move from Clayton. He heard the noise. That's what I like about this coaching staff and this team. They hear the noise and they react. They hear the noise and they react.
And
We're bitching about
you got to
Kobe.
credit that
Get
to
him
Howard
off
Roseman.
return. What we do, we get beat. Boston Scott, you're not getting enough carries. Go ahead and be our return guy. 2 back-to-back weeks with explosive returns. Now it's looking good. Flip and fill. Man, this Eagles team is ready. They're
You
primed.
got to credit to Howard Roseman because he finally got a Twitter account and now people are tweeting at him. So
Yeah,
he's going to react. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what. But one thing I'm going to say is right. You look at this team, right? You look at the Bills, flashy team, but when you need them to win big games, they choke. Why is that? Because they want to be flashy. They want to be this team that you see on the highlights. They want to look at Josh Allen, look at his arm, but they don't run the football. That's why they're not going to make a Super Bowl run. Because the team's going to come in there and go, okay, you want to pass? We're going to shut that down quickly. Now what you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to run with Josh Allen? Okay, we're going to put him in the dirt. Now what you want to do? Well,
Yeah.
we can run the football on you. We can throw the football on you. We can play. How do you want to lose? We got so many ways to beat you. A lot of teams don't have that. They got to be on point against the Eagles. They can't go in this game
They got
worried
to
about
do what they
Jalen
do best,
Hurts.
and they got to be doing that at a high level. Like for us, I feel like we're more of a team that first quarter we'll sit back and see what you want to do. We'll throw some vanilla stuff at you. What do you want to do against that? Okay, you think you're figuring out something? Boom. All right, here we go. Now let's open it up and do something totally different that you don't expect, and we're gonna win. Thank you. So
And now that these receivers, I mean, you got two number one receivers. The cornerbacks are going to be you make cornerbacks job harder when you have to cover Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I mean,
back.
these guys are grown ass men making spectacular plays. I mean, let's be real. The Bears, I mean, they couldn't even stop AJ. But let's be real. The Bears were holding on to AJ Brown like crazy. They were holding on to him. They were they were pulling his clothes. You thought they were married the way they were hugging each other hugging AJ Brown. You thought they were dating. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But still, I mean, they were hugging on him and everything. Like they were giving him a hug. They were holding on him, not leaving him go. They couldn't stop him one-on-one. He's a grown man. And what are you going to do when you have that team? You got this defense coming through. The defense coming along. You still got Goddard that now you got to worry about coming back. You know, we talk about Devon Smith and AJ Brown. What happens when you got Goddard in the mix? Now you really in trouble because we see what this offense was with Goddard right there. It was unstoppable.
Imagine the weapons there would be 4,000-yard weapons if Goddard never got hurt.
And you know what you said last year, you know how the coaches were coming along before the playoffs. I think these coaches are starting to come along right now. And I think it's only going to get better. And when it comes to playoff time in January and February, I think this team, February going to be the Super Bowl. Hopefully we're in there. And I think I think we're going to be in the Super Bowl. Like this team to me is stacked for a run for a Super Bowl.
It's done. If you got money, go put it down on it right now. If you got money, get your Arizona tickets right now. I'm telling you, it's done.
I don't see anybody walking into Philadelphia in the cold conditions and beating a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. If you are any team in NFL, you better hope and pray to God that the Cowboys come out and shock us. Because I'm telling you right now, we get home field advantage. I don't care if they're the 49ers.
And even if we lose to the Cowboys, that don't even matter. We just got to beat the Saints or the Giants.
But if you're an NFL fan and you have to come to Philadelphia, you're not going to see your team win. You're going to see your team take an L. There's no way in hell the 49ers.
I'm already getting ready to find my parade outfit. What I'm going to wear for the parade already. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm going to wear? I'm going to wear my Devontae Smith jersey. I'm going to wear my Devontae Smith jersey. I ain't going to lie. I might wear my It Hurts season shirt. You know what I'm saying? Just for the Hurts haters out there that wanted the Sean Watson, the Russells, and the Jimmy Garoppolos. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been saying all along, BG Thoron. You and I have been saying this guy was going to be better than Josh Allen.
Facts.
Hey, are we crazy now?
Only other person I know still that long is LB. And other than that, we've been preaching this.
You know, shout out to the content creators. We know why y'all didn't want, listen, shout out to them. They have a great channel. But, when you talking a little, spicy to BG31, BG31 didn't forget that. You know what I'm saying? He said, okay, all right, we'll see. And you said that.
And I stick with it, though. I'll stick with it. No one else might agree, and I don't even care.
They called us crazy again last year when we said we were going to blow up the Falcons. Oh, you can't blow up the Falcons. Look how good they are. We destroyed them.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
They're a good team, right? Calvin Ridley. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, now it's you're going one and done. Plus, always going to find some excuse for us. But the bottom line is, I heard all this in 2017, and we won a Super Bowl. You played cupcake schedule. You played this. You played that. You never thought a team like the Philadelphia Eagles could win a Super Bowl in 17. Just like people think that we can't win it now. Why can't we? So we can win in 2017 with Nick Foles as a backup. We definitely can win with Jalen Hurts. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the first quarterback in Eagles history, a franchise quarterback, not a backup quarterback. I know Nick Foles is a good quarterback as a backup, but the first quarterback in franchise history in the second year to win us a Super Bowl. He's going to be that. I'm telling you right now, he is going to be miles ahead of these other quarterbacks.
He's already miles ahead.
And there's a lot of great ones.
In his second year.
And he's going to bring us a Super Bowl, man. I'm telling you.
And that's the thing that's so special. Like we said, there's all this talent going out there.
I'm already getting excited just talking football, man. You get me excited with BG31.
Because it's the truth, and everybody should be excited. Everybody should be excited. Like, how many more weeks you want to go through a season before you're excited? You know, I heard them talking about, oh, I see people trying to really get on board with the Eagles now. It's like, why weren't you already on board? We're 13-1.
You see the
13
NFL
and
talking
1. I
about the
don't think we've
Philadelphia
ever even
Eagles,
done
right?
that before. You
But did
know?
you see all these ESPN, NFL talk
Like,
about
come
the
on.
Eagles? But weren't they just talking about how the Dallas Cowboys were going to beat us? Weren't they talking
Yeah.
about how the Dallas Cowboys were the best team in the division?
They ain't
Oh,
saying that
Jalen
no
Hurts, is
more.
he the guy or not? I wonder if Daniel Jeremiah still thinks that trading for Deshaun Watson is still a good idea. I wonder if he still thinks that's a good idea.
It's time to get on board. Like I said, man, I've been telling you guys this. We will win the Super Bowl. We will be dominant throughout the playoff run. There will be a Jalen Hurts statue out the outside of this stadium, my
Right
God.
behind Nick Foles,
That's
baby.
how awesome this year's going to be. And this team will go down as not only the best Eagles team of all time. When we win that Super Bowl, we're going to go down as the best team of all time. You
You know
know, with
what,
all
BG
the other
Thurman, when
records
you win,
being
when
broken,
you win
first
a
time,
Super Bowl,
4 players getting sacks, first time, first everything that we got going on right now, it's going to be the best team ever. You know, you will remember this team for years and years to come because it's going to be the start of a dynasty. It's going to be back-to-back Super Bowl. I'm talking about until something catastrophic happen, I can see us winning the Super Bowl from here on out. Like it's
you
gonna
know,
be
BG
Patriot
31.
style
When you
run.
when you
Patriot
win a
style.
Super Bowl, you should have all the contractors that were doubting you, the Eagle contractors that were doubting you. You should bring them on the channel and say, "Hey, remember when I told you that he was going to be better than Josh Allen? Hey, how
Hey,
about
I
this
will
Super
say
Bowl
though,
win?"
I will say this year, like especially recently, a lot of the people have been saying, "Hey, PG, you're right. I had to call Crow." You know, and I was shocked. They've been saying it. They've been saying it like, "All right, you were right." You know, I was
But
tripping
but but
because
why weren't we right? You know what I'm saying? Don't you think with weapons around Jalen Hurts when he showed you he can throw the football? Even the Quez Watkins last year, look at that throw that he made in the back of the end zone. There should be
yep,
no question about his arm talent. You know, if anybody says that he had no accuracy, well, if he had no accuracy, he don't make that throw. There was nothing problem with his accuracy and his arm. He
it's
just didn't have the
consistency.
weapons.
And it was
Now,
consistent. Like, he had to go work this offseason real hard, you know,
you
and
know,
that's what really got me to understand that. Like, he is that dude because he was out
now
there putting in that work.
Now there was last year were a couple games like I thought the Chargers game. I thought Jalen Hurts was not playing his best, and that wasn't me saying he was trash. I just thought he could play better because I know Jalen Hurts. I know that he really could play much better than he was. You know, there were some throws, but even some of those games like the Kansas City Chiefs game, the 49ers game, Jalen Hurts still puts you in a position to win. We just didn't have that defense that we do now, and now you're seeing a good defense with a good offensive line, with a receiving core that's dominant. You know, even a quarterback that's progressed, that's continued to look like, and I keep on saying people don't like this, Patrick Mahomes 2.0 with Russell Wilson ability. That is what Jalen Hurts is. That's what he's going to be. You all can
No,
sit there and
no,
tell me
no,
he's not
no. We're
that.
not even
You
gonna do
look
that. We're
at him.
starting a new era, Eagles champ. You're not gonna compare Jalen Hurts to nobody no more.
No,
That
he
ship
reminds
is
me a lot like
sunk.
Russell Wilson, man.
That ship has sunken. No one now you're gonna start comparing people to Jalen Hurts. After
Oh,
he wins
you
MVP
already
this
hear people
people,
talk
you
about
will
he's Cam
compare
Newton.
quarterbacks to him because no one's doing it like he's done it. He's like first, he's got so many records, he's only been starting 2 years with so many records, doing so many things that's never been done before. Patty does nice throws, backyard plays, that are awesome. And when you throw the ball 40 times a game, yes, you're going to get those high numbers. But really think about it. That's what you are. You're a quarterback. You're throwing the ball. Jalen's throwing darts and still running the football, scoring touchdowns both ways. He's leading running
And
backs in touchdowns. He's leading, he's tops in quarterback touchdowns. When you are in both categories, tops, get the fuck out of here if you're not the man. You know what I'm saying?
talking
For real.
spicy, DJ. There, I
Get
never
out
heard
of
you
here.
curse like that.
No one can touch his stuff. He's great. Already. Elite. Now. Not later. He's elite now. And he's only going to get better from here on out. He might go down as the greatest quarterback of all time.
But you know the naysayers going to talk about if you put Patrick Mahomes on his offense, wouldn't he be successful? Look at the weapons he has. Why is he not winning right now? Doesn't he have weapons over there? Why is he not 13-1? Why is all these other guys have an easier schedule, not 13-1? We have the hardest schedule. And
And
Kansas
Andy
City and the
Reid's
Bills
so
have the
great.
easiest.
I believe if you put Jalen Hurts in KC, they're balling out too. Andy Reid's a great quarterback. He had Donovan now for other years. He didn't know what to do with a Jalen Hurts. If you're any kind of offensive coordinator, you got a guy like Jalen Hurts, you should know what to do with him. If you don't, then that's your bad.
They run around here like he's Lamar Jackson, like he can't throw, like he has an RPO system because he needs it. No, Jalen Hurts can throw. Lamar Jackson needs that RPO system. Jalen Hurts don't. That's just another boost to our system. He can sit back in the pocket. He can deliver the throw. We're not going to act like Jalen Hurts is Tim Tebow or none. That stuff is over with. Y'all
Yeah,
can't say that anymore. He
a
should
lot of
never
his
said that in
runs
the
is just
first
because we
place.
got so many good weapons that you got to guard them. And when you guard him, you're leaving things wide open, and he goes and takes advantage of it.
Yeah,
You know,
but
we got even our quarterback scheme runs. He's been scoring touchdowns off of them, wide open touchdowns. They're not like, oh, he's just taking such a pounding. They're just wide open touchdowns he's taking, giving what the defense is giving to him, and just taking them and
but,
rushing. And like
but
I said,
I don't understand why people are
4,000
making a
yards,
big deal out of
1,000
his
yards
rushing
rush.
touchdowns.
Yeah,
If it's so big deal, if Jalen Hurts rushing touchdowns making a big deal, why y'all making a big deal? Like people are acting like, well, Jalen Hurts running, oh, he's a running back. Well, Mahomes is a running back too, because didn't he rush for a touchdown too? Then Josh Allen run. Josh Allen runs for touchdowns all the time. I don't hear anything about him being a running back when he runs more than he throws.
facts.
If we're
Josh
not going to be
running back.
truthful, then let's be truthful. Josh
Yeah,
Allen runs more than he throws. He takes unnecessary hits. Jalen Hurts at least tries to slide.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen's running over people. Not one person talking about Josh Allen's a running back. But Jalen Hurts is a running back because why? He runs when he has to. You rather him stick in the pocket? See, people don't like the fact that Jalen Hurts is a balling out. And the naysayers and the haters and the guys like, we ain't gonna name names, but the people who said that he was a bum, he was a loser, we should go out and get this, they look silly now. They look silly now. Because now what you gonna say? Oh, well, Jalen Hurts, and now they want to grit. Now here's another thing, right? Those haters, and there's a lot of them were Eagles on IG talking like well, Michael Parsons was right about Jalen Hurts. He's telling the truth. No, he's not. You're just a hater. You don't want to admit that you're wrong. I hate when someone don't admit them. Even if you're wrong, you're trying to find a way to bring down a guy that's balling. And I don't get
Oh,
that. When I said that Howard Roseman, when I was discrediting Howard Roseman, I made that year that he was a good GM, and I made my mistakes. As a man, you come and you admit your mistakes. You don't
mhm.
continue trying to say, "Oh, he didn't do this." No, because at the end of the day, you sound foolish for saying that. You can't say nothing about this kid. This kid is doing what quarterbacks are not doing in the NFL. You can't say nothing about what he's doing. He's worked on his accuracy. He's throwing the football with poise. He sits in the pocket. He's delivering he's finding his reads. He's not running like he did last year. Like he ran every time he saw no one open. He just runs. Now he's sitting in the pocket. Y'all wanted him to sit in the pocket. He's done that. What more do you want from this kid? This kid could throw for could throw for so many yards, and they'll find one bad thing to say about him. I can't stand that. I don't understand. How can you not want to root for this kid? This kid
Like
is going out
bad
there. He's
game,
doing things that no one else is
400
doing.
yards, 3
Carson
touchdowns.
Wentz not even
Still
doing
bad
half of
game.
the shit that Jalen Hurts is doing.
No,
Carson
no one's
Wentz,
doing
the
it.
elite quarterback that everybody liked him to be in 17, he's having a better year than 2017 Carson Wentz. Think about that. Jalen Hurts in his 2022 is having 2022 is having a better year than Carson Wentz in 2017. And we won a Super Bowl in that year in
Than
2017.
any quarterback ever with the Eagles, man. Like I said, 13 rushing touchdowns. That's second in the league. Thank you, Chris, to the all. Second in the league for rushing touchdowns. Okay, and that's our quarterback. And he's in the top 10 in passing touchdowns.
He really should be top 5,
And
to be honest, because when I
passing
look at Josh
yards.
Allen, I can go lie to you. I don't think Josh Allen's all of that. I really don't. I think if you take away Diggs, like everyone will say, well, you take AJ Brown. When you take away Diggs, I don't think Josh Allen's Josh Allen. I think if you take Jalen Hurts' weapons away, I still think he finds a way to win. He's shown you he can win without weapons.
Last
Look
year.
what the weapons he had last year. Jalen Rager wasn't a number 1 receiver. He was bona fide number 3. And he
And we
still
would
won
have
with
still
J.J.
been a good
Watson and
football
Jalen
team
Rager.
this year. If we would have just beefed up that defense like we did and came back and ran it back again, I feel like we would have still been a good football team this year. If we didn't get AJ, we just left the starters we had from last year. Maybe drafted a receiver maybe and got rid of Rager. But other than that, we would have still been a good football team this year, period.
Yeah,
The
Rager
defense,
would have dropped the touchdown pass.
linebackers, that was a huge problem that we filled that spot so well. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Yeah.
having Chauncey Gardner back there, even though some of these
And
he's been hurt.
and by the way, that trade, that Saints GM, whoever traded him, yeah, you already know he's losing his job when Chauncey Gardner Jr. comes back, play against the Saints at Philadelphia. I mean, the fact that you traded safety when you don't have a safety at all. I mean, look at their safety now. Malcolm Jenkins retired. Their quarterback, what's his name? Safety Mays out for the season.
Mm.
The guy that they signed from Kansas City, yeah, he's okay, but he's older. You know what I'm saying? Think about the things that Howard Roseman's saying. I can admit my mistakes. I was wrong about Howard Roseman. You know what I'm saying? I will sign it right now, apology letter. If we have apology letter for Howard Roseman right now, I'll be the first one to sign it because I was harsh on him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think he put it right. He's having a good year. He's doing what he's doing. Now I'm definitely make a video sooner or later talk about how, and with a full suit and every tie like that, where I'll talk about how Roseman's a good GM and this and that, because I was wrong about him. I didn't think he would change his team around, and look, he changed his team around. He's made this team from what they were last year, which we barely made the playoffs, because of who? Number one, the guy that you have on your screen. The only reason why we were relevant in the first place, Jalen Hurts put us in a position to win a playoff game because he's special. He knows what it's like to win. He's been through the tough games, and that loss to the Buccaneers sparked something I've never seen out of a quarterback. Some quarterbacks don't come back from this. Some quarterbacks fall right on their faces, especially the critics that he's gotten. Everybody would have been hearing, any other quarterback would be hearing Deshaun Watson's name 24/7, and the Eagles would potentially looking to trade for him. They'd be wanting to trade. Jalen Hurts said, you know what? I don't care about none of that. Let me go out there and ball. Let me shut these haters up.
Catch me if you can. But we 2 hours deep. Shout out to Eagles Champ. Go subscribe to my boy Eagles Champ. You know what I'm saying? He puts out that fire. He gets a little rowdy over there on his side, but it's definitely a great content creator. And like I said, I can't take the credit by myself. Like Champ's been saying it. A lot of us been saying it for a while. It's time for everybody to get on board. He is him. That is your quarterback. That is the MVP of the league. We are the best football team in the league. Period. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one can touch us. We only can beat ourselves, and I don't think that's going to happen. Get your Arizona tickets ready. Fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time.
We definitely got to do more class soon, bro. But it was fun talking to you as always.
I just been so busy. I be finding weird.
I understand. I see you working with other content creators. There's nothing wrong with that. You keep putting that fire content out, man. You're one of the original goats, man. You're one of the top goats that are coming along, man. I'm so proud of how you doing on your channel. Keep doing your thing, man. Definitely. You know what I'm saying?
For you guys, all you guys, man. Like, I try to work with as many of you guys as possible. You know what I'm saying? My work schedule will be really messed up nowadays. But, I'm going to get more content created back. I'm about to be in Philly, so everything's going to go up then. I'm going to be in Philly. We're going to be moving there this year. So be on the lookout for that, Philadelphia.
You going back to Philadelphia?
We're going to move to Philly, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be nice.
BG, they're the one behind the link.
Yes. Every week, like, BG's at the link with another press conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be dropping gems.
Instead of the reporters, he gets rid of the reporters because these reporters are crazy for asking some stupid question. He asked Jalen Hurts, how do you think about the game? That'd be awesome.
They're like, BG, how do you feel about the game? I feel like Jalen Hurts is the man. You know what I'm saying? He do his thing. But it's going to be fun, though. But, hey, check us out tonight. Birds of Broad Street, the best Monday Eagles content show ever made in history. You got me, Philly Notion, Cool Cat Connors, Simone with the Sports, our new member in One Trey Rock, as we just destroy the Cowgirl Nation, led by Boss Cowboy.
You already know these Cowboy fans.
Cold Cowboy.
You know these Cowboy fans are going to say this week.
It's about to be explosive tonight, so make sure you guys tap in.
And I'm telling you right now, you know what they're going to say to y'all, right? They're going to say you barely beat the Bears. You didn't beat them fully. You could stop pumping your chest. You're not this team that you are. We beat the Bears. We blew them out. Y'all struggled against them. I'm telling you, that's what they're going to say.
And you know what I'm going to tell them? I'm going to tell them. And we out.